Hello, welcome to PMFF Presents Anchored Apart. Welcome everyone. Thank you for your patience. This is our first time doing this and we seem to have figured it out. Great. So without further ado, let me please turn it over to, I am Chris Madden, the new president of Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. I'm so happy to see, or not actually see all of you here, but to see some numbers that show you're watching. That's fantastic. I'm going to turn it over to our capable MC for the afternoon, Nick Noble, host of the Folk Revival with Nick Noble on WICN FM in Worcester, Jazz Plus Folk for New England, and also the treasurer of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. So please take it away, Nick.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to Anchored Apart. Please mute yourself if you are not not on right now, because otherwise we're going to get an echo from our wonderful delay, especially if you're watching us on YouTube simultaneously. But welcome to Anchored Apart. These are challenging times, and of course there is no Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival this year, but we are anchored apart, still able to perform and sing. Before we introduce our first featured artist, I just want to let folks know what our format is today, in case you're not aware of it. We have several featured artists throughout the afternoon. We will be opening and closing each 20-minute, half-hour segment with a featured artist, and in between, community singers will be joining us. Community singers, you have one song each, 5 minutes, please, no more. And our featured singers begin with Larry Kaplan, and Larry Kaplan is a wonderful singer-songwriter, recipient of multiple Best Folk CDs of the Year by leading folk radio programs across the world and tours around the world. And it's wonderful to have him with us. He's actually been my Facebook friend for a little while now and sent me a pile of CDs recently. All wonderful, Larry. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our first featured performer of the afternoon, Anchored Apart, Larry Kaplan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good. Well, thanks so much for having me. I think if there's anyone anchored far apart, it's me. I'm about 3,228 miles from Portsmouth right now in London, but it's an honor to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me. I do want to say one thing about this festival, and that is you've done something very courageous to try to kind of soldier through this pandemic. People need music, and they need this kind of music most of all. And thank you for bringing it to people and to me as well. I'm going to start with a song that has a little bit to do with drinking. I don't know why that came up as a theme, but I thought I'd try it anyway. And it's about the rum that was rationed for the British Navy, actually for almost 230 years until 1970, when on Black Tot Day, it was decided that the sailors really were too inebriated, or at least impaired, to be able to operate machinery or rigging. And that must be because the daily ration was probably saved by many of them. But this is a vocabulary lesson in rumology. The practice was to give a tot of rum to every crew member every day on His Majesty's vessels. And it was the high point of the day. It also might have been an opportunity for some commerce to go on below in the forecastle when people wanted to sell their portion to others. But in any event, this song's called British Navy Pusser's Rum. One part rum, 2 parts water, that's the grog we get today. Break your back, make fast your halyards, Royal Navy rum's your pay. An eighth of rum, standard ration, tot's the lot you get for sure. When night falls on this thirsty ocean, we can use a whole lot more. 90 proof, the pusser tells us, ah, that's what I call a lovely rum. Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, through the heat and the scorching sun. 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy pussers rum. When a sailor tests his mettle, when the mate says, lad, well done, he gets 2 tots for all his troubles. Splice the main brace, there's your rum. I'll take my neat without fresh water, though the barrel's dry and the water's gone. There ain't no time to pray for rain, I'd rather pray for pusser's rum. 90 proof, the pusser tells us, oh, that's what I call a lovely rum. Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, through the heat and the scorching sun. 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy pussers rum. Middle watch, bosun sleeping, let her luff and shut the hatch. Well, Bob's a dying, that's what we call.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone on YouTube. Apologies for that. Technology is so much fun. Hopefully we can get started again. Larry, if you could pick up where you left off, or
Sing it again.
or just start the song from the top. It was a great song, and we're sorry not to hear how it ended.
No, I kind of expected this would happen because nobody knows how Zoom works. So thanks. Shall I start again?
Yes,
Okay,
please. Larry
okay.
Kaplan, ladies and gentlemen.
And I did want to say a pusser is not a euphemism for the purser, who was the man who, or woman, usually the man, who made the rations. So here goes, once again, British Navy pussers rum. One part rum, 2 parts water, that's the grog we get today. Break your back, make fast your halyards, Royal Navy rum's your pay. 1/8 of rum, the standard ration, tots the lot you get for sure. When night falls on the thirsty ocean, we can use a whole lot more. 90 proof, the pusser tells us, ah, that's what I call a lovely rum. Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, in the heat and the scorching sun. 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy pussers rum. When a sailor tests his mettle, when the mate says, lad, well done, he gets 2 tots for all his troubles. Splice the main brace, there's your rum. I'll take my neat without fresh water, well, the barrel's dry and the water's gone. This ain't no time to pray for rain, I'd rather pray for pusser's rum. Well, 90 proof, the pusser tells us, oh, that's what I call a very nice rum. Well, Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, through the heat and the scorching sun, 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy hussars rum. Middle watch, bosun sleeping, I'll let her luff and shut the hatch. Well, Bob's a dying, Bob's a dying, that's what we call a drunken bash. So take a long swig at the braces, 3 good sippers make a gulp. Was good enough to pickle Nelson, I can't see, now help me up. Oh, 90 proof, the pusser tells us, that's what I call a lovely rum. Oh, Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, through the heat and the scorching sun. Oh, 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy pussers rum. Casks near empty, pussers lying. You can't even call that rum. First mate says, you lazy beggars, no grog for you, the work's not done. Well, 20 days to reach Tortola, 30 more to round Cape Horn, 2 months more to Valparaiso, 3 months more to Singapore. 90 proof, the pusser tells us, well, that's what I call a lovely rum. Well, Captain says you'll get what's due you when your bloody work is done. 20 days to reach Tortola, through the heat and the scorching sun. 20 days to reach Tortola, British Navy pussers rum.
All right, and that was Larry Kaplan. Larry, live from London, Larry Kaplan. Thank you, Larry. And folks, if you'll mute yourselves, we're about to have our first 2 community singers of the afternoon. It'll be Bill Dunlap, followed by Rich Pale. And remember, community singers, 1 song, 5 minutes. We're looking forward to hearing you. You may unmute yourselves. We'll start it off with Bill Dunlap.
Okay. This is a press gang song from the northeast of England. Here's the tender coming, pressing all the men. Oh dear hinny, what shall we do then? Here's the tender coming off at Shields Bar. Here's the tender coming, full of men of war. Hide thee, canny hinny, hide thyself away. Hide thee till the frigate makes for George Bay. If they take thee, Geordie, who's to win our bread? Me and little Jackie, better off be dead. Here's the tender coming, stealing off my dear. Oh dear hinny, they'll ship you out of here. They will ship you foreign, that is what it means. Here's the tender coming, full of red marines. Hey, bonny lassie, let's go to the law to see the tender lying off at Shields Bar. With her colors flying, anchor at her bow, they took me bonny laddie, best of all the crew. Is the tender coming, pressing all the men? Oh dear hinny, what shall we do then? Is the tender coming off at Shields Bar? Is the tender coming full of men o' war? Is the tender coming, pressing all the men? Oh dear hinny, what shall we do then?
Bill Dunlap. Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much for that. And Rick Paulet, you're up next for our community sing, and then it's back to the wonderful Larry Kaplan. Rick, what do you got for us?
I've got a song about being on high seas and rough waters because we had a bit of a rough start. So it puts me in mind of this song. And this is a Newfoundland song which captures the experience of being lifted by the sea so that all you can see is the heavens above and then going over and all you can see is the trough in front of you. And it's a song you can sing along with even if you haven't heard it before because the chorus is, oh, up she rises, the water rolls off of the deck. Oh, up she rises, guided through the sea by the Captain Jack. Oh, up she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, up she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again. When she leaves safe harbor, headed for the fishing ground, unknown waters again. And you wave goodbye to your friends on shore, steaming with the northern wind. The waves they roll and the wind's picking up and the night is coming on fast. She turns her back to the island shore, through the high waves she will blast. And it's oh, up she rises, the water rolls off of her deck. Oh, up she rises, guided through the sea by her Captain Jack. Oh, up she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, up she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again. In the morning, the winds are calm, waters glisten in the morning sun. The captain says, all men on deck, there's a day's work to be done. We climb the rails and we hit the deck. We're on the fishing grounds at last. We work the day and hear the captain say, there's a windstorm coming up fast. And it's oh, up she rises, the water rolls off of the deck. Oh, up she rises, guided through the sea by the Captain Jack. Oh, up she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, up she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again. When the catch is made, we'll head for home to a harbor safe and warm. Through a restless night to the toss and turn in the winds and waves of a storm. They're the northern gale with a 10-foot swell cutting through a mighty sea. But the sound of a song is heard from below. The men, you can hear them sing. Oh, up she rises, the water rolls off of the deck. Oh, up she rises, guided through the sea by the Captain Jack. Oh, up she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, up she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again. Then it's oh, up she rises, guided with the oh, up she rises, guided through the sea by her Captain Jack. Oh, up she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, up she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again.
Rick Pole. Rick, thank you so much. Up She Rises, that's the name of the song?
Yes.
Up She Rises. Rick Pole,
By-
thank you so much.
By Bob Porter of Newfoundland.
By Bob Porter. Thank you, folks. Let's meet ourselves again. Larry Kaplan, welcome back live from London with another song for us. And after Larry, I'll be thanking some folks who've been making donations. Then hopefully we'll be able to hear from Great Bay Sailor. Let's go, Larry Kaplan. What do you got, Larry?
Well, you know, we all have our stories about a favorite boat, whether one we worked on, watched, admired, or built. This is mine. It's one that I've sung for years now, and had the honor of hearing others sing it and record it as well. Song about the schooner Bowdoin, the Arctic schooner that Donald Macmillan built in 1923, intended actually to explore the Arctic, which was for the most part not charted. And he made 23 trips north with groups that would study geography, biology, and also at one point for the Navy, he did some charting of the waters there. When he retired, the Bowdoin fell on hard times. I'd spent some time working to help kind of pull her together a little bit, and then worked on her for a while. When I left the Penobscot Bay area and heard that she had broken her mainmast, I wrote this song. And I'm going to give you a happy punchline or a happy ending, because she's now the sail training vessel of the Maine Maritime Academy, and looking Bristol fashion, really, really well maintained and almost completely rebuilt. She takes cadets from the academy to the north, to the bay, teach them seamanship in a way that very few academies of the kind do now. I had the honor of being a guest crew member on that vessel a few years ago, and wish I were back. So this song is called Song for the Bowdoin. Will you sail the cold waters of the great northern bays? Ice pick on your rigging, lee rail under the waves, and the snow on your canvas like a winter gull's wing. Oh, all the times you've been through. Now you've got hard times, and now you lie still, and you're fast to the anchor and chain. Broken and tired, summer winds pass you by. You're bound to go sailing again. Well, you cleared out of Booth Bay on a gentle south swell, with a breeze on your quarter. How that bow rose and fell. There are those who remember so much more than they'll tell. All the times you've been through. Greenland and Baffin and the White Labrador, in the wind and the terrible snow, when they carried their ice picks just to bring you about, in the light from the lanterns below. So rest, lady, rest from the fog and the gale. Let the harbor protect you. Let the sun dry your sails. Let 100 old sailors tell their saltiest tales, the hardest of times you've been through. And we'll see your masts mingle with the spruce and the pine, and we'll bow as we all pass you by. For a boat is more patient than a sailor can be, and the sun and the wind fill his eyes. Now you've got hard times, and now you lie still, and you're fast to the anchor and chain. Broken and tired, summer winds pass you by, bound to go sailing again, bound to go sailing again.
Larry Kaplan. Larry, thank you so much. What a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Song for the Bowdoin. Larry Kaplan, our featured singer for the first round. Again, I'm reminding folks we're beginning every half hour or so with a featured singer. I have a couple of community singers in there and then a featured singer again. I don't see the folks from Great Bay Sailor here, unless I'm mistaken. Someone yell at me if I'm mistaken, please. And so what we're going to do is, Jane and Quentin, if you're all set to go, we're going to, in about a minute, we'll open with Jane Fallon and Quentin Center, our two next community singers. And then Linds Moran will dive in as our next featured presenter. Are there any questions or concerns about that as we move ahead? I do want to thank folks who have already donated to, thumbs up, Lynn, thank you. Already donated to support the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival as we go live again in 2021. Rob and Rick and Deborah and Ken and Linda and James have all made donations, and I'm sure there will be others. The link to donate is in the chat section of the Zoom if you're here, and is in the chat section of the YouTube stream if you're there, and we'll post them again from time to time so you can find them. It's a bit.ly link, PMFF Fest 2020. Jane Fallon, who was the honorable mention in our 2020 Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival songwriting competition. We didn't have a festival, but we had a songwriting competition. Jane Fallon was our honorable mention singer for that one. Jane, what do you have for us, my friend?
Oh, I have a song that I wrote kind of from a prompt, I believe, maybe from Chris Madden or someone at your show a couple of years ago. They just were talking about female pirates and cross-dressing girls. And so I went home that night and wrote a song. And I couldn't enter it that year because I couldn't memorize it in time. So, and then I tried the next year and I was too busy. I couldn't. So this is the third try to get this song in. And it's a fun song to sing. And it was great to do the research about the girls who used to follow their guys onto the ships and become pirates. It's called Neptune's Daughter. I was just 16 when my true love took my hand and said, my darling Nellie, can you hear the sea? No matter how I love you, your home is on dry land, and my heart hears the ocean call to me. So I grabbed my brother's breeches and I cut my hair, and I said, where you go, Johnny? That's where I go to. I will be your cabin boy, and I will sail with you wherever you go, wherever you may do. Well, they call me Neptune's daughter 'cause I live out on the sea, and I chart a course wherever the four winds carry me. My window is the sunset, my hearth, it is the foam. They call me Neptune's daughter because the ocean is my home. I learned to gauge the water's depth, I learned to hoist a sail, and I could count the plunder and divide it fair and square. I could sing a song and I could spin a tale. Wherever I was needed, I was there. I could bind the sailors' wounds and ease their pain, and chase away their demons with what I knew of charms. But I could not stop the wind bringing in the freezing rain, and Johnny took the fever and he died there in my arms. Well, they call me Neptune's daughter 'cause I live out on the sea, and I chart a course wherever the four winds carry me. My window is the sunset, my heart that is the foam. They call me Neptune's daughter because the ocean is my home. The captain came on quickly and he tore my coat away. He leered and said, I'll bet you thought I didn't know. He slid his hand beneath my shirt and said, I'll have my way, and nodded at his cabin as a place where we should go. I quickly grabbed his sword and I slit his throat, and I rolled him overboard before the crew could see. And then I cut the tether of a fine seaworthy boat, and Lock Johnny's hair was all I took with me. I have spent my life doing what some say girls can't do, and the only home I know has been the ocean wide. I am captain, I am gunner, I am boatswain, I am crew, and I sail with just the spirit of my Johnny by my side. They call me Neptune's daughter 'cause I live out on the sea, and I chart a course wherever the four winds carry me. My window is the sunset, my heart that is the foam. They call me Neptune's daughter because the ocean is my home.
Jane Fallon, ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen. Jane Fallon, honorable mention at the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Songwriting Competition in 2020, the only real festival piece we had this year. Jane, you got to do another song and enter again next year and
I
join us.
will. Okay.
We'd love to see you. Thank you, Jane. And now next up is our community singer. And actually, we're almost right on time now. Quinton Center. Quinton, unmute yourself and share with us your song, please.
Well, I didn't write this one, but it was done by a band in Portland in Maine called Schooner Fair. And this song means a lot to me. You can see the squares of canvas dancing over the horizon. You can feel the shanty wailing to the heaving of the men. You can feel the seas up to your knees, and you know the sea is rising, and you know the clipper's day has come again. To the man on high, the boatswain's cry commands a killing strain, till every mother's son begins to pray. With a hearty shout she comes about as she heads into the rain, and the ship has never seen a better day. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the sails will mend their tatters and the masts will rise again. Wooden beams and human dreams are all that make her go, and the magic of the wind upon her sails. She'd rather fight the weather than the fishes down below. God help us if the rigging ever fails. As the timber creaks, the captain speaks above the vessel's groans, till every soul on board can hear the call. It's nothing but the singing of the ship inside her bones, and this is when she likes it best of all. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the sails will mend their tatters and the masts will rise again. Where the current goes, the clipper's nose is ploughing fields of green. Where fortune takes the carouse, we wish them well. Where men could be when lost at sea is somewhere in between the regions of heaven and hell. They're sailing eastern harbors and the California shores. If you set your mind to see them, then you can. As you count each mast go sailing past you prouder than before, and you know the clipper's day has come again. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the sails will mend their tatters and the mast will rise again. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the sails will mend their tatters and the mast will rise again.
All right, Quentin, outstanding. That's Steve Romanoff's Day of the Clipper from Schooner Fair, performed by Quentin Center. Quentin, thank you so much.
Very good.
Thank you for being part of tonight's show. And we're now moving ahead. I want to introduce Linds Moran, who's coming up. And Linds is an old friend and a regular attendee at my live maritime shows that promote the festival here at WICN. Her husband is also my favorite folk revival photographer. But Linds is an outstanding performer at Portsmouth Maritime, Mystic Sea Music Festivals, all sorts of camps and other festivals, plays, sings, teaches. She is amazing. And so I will introduce you to her, my friend and a wonderful singer-songwriter, Lynz Moran. Linds, go ahead.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Nick. I am glad to get to make some music happen today in some way, you know, to sing with everybody, even in this strange new way that we're all getting used to. But we can sing songs we all know. So I hope, though I won't get to hear you all, that you will sing all the harmonies that I'm hearing in my head. day, only one more day, me Johnny, one more day, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. So heave and slide the anchor, Johnny, one more day. Make your port and get your pay me, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. Then put out your long tail blue, me Johnny, one more day. Make your port and get your pay me, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day for Johnny, one more day. Only one more day of working, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. So pack your bags today, me Johnny, one more day, and we'll leave her where she lay, me Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day of furling, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day of cursing, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day of pumping, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day of bracing, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day. Only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, Johnny, one more day.
Linds Moran. Linz, thank you so much for that. I was singing a sedate bass part here I'm actually here in the radio studio, the only place I can get good Wi-Fi and privacy. But Linz, thank you again so much. We're going to be going to Alan Dimmick and Rich Galloway as your next community singers in a moment. But I want to say that we have over 100 viewers on YouTube and another 27 folks here, singers and potential singers and past singers lined up to perform today. So that's terrific. I also want to thank, we've had even more gifts online, more donations to the festival. So Festival 2021 can happen live in real time. Mike and Heather, the Vox Hunters, thanks guys. Gunner also have contributed. So thank you so much again. It's a bit.ly link, PMFF Fest 2020, if you want to donate to support the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. It's in the chat here on Zoom and also in the chat on YouTube. But right now, my friends, we are anchored apart. We are anchored apart, and I want to welcome Alan Dimmick to give us a song. You can unmute yourself, my friend.
I was just looking at the New York Times online on what the climate around here was going to be like in 2040. So don't buy coastal property, and make sure you get hurricane insurance. And here's a song that might be sung to a kid at that point, or by a kid at that point. Great granddad told me stories of when he was a boy, how the world was different then and the freedom he enjoyed. He spent his summers by the beach, in the winters they had snow, but that was in the old days before the oceans rose. They had football games and holidays. Most everyone had cars. You could travel all around the world. There weren't so many wars. Houses had big gardens then where flowers and trees would grow. But that was in the old days before the oceans rose. Way back in the old days before the oceans rose. He told me how when he was young there was always food to eat. Water wasn't rationed, they had lots of fish and meat. Where we have the desert now, vast fields of corn would grow. But that was in the old days before the oceans rose. They had festivals and carnivals, they had restaurants and pubs. The houses all had showers, and some even had bathtubs. Oil cost more than water then, and you picked out your own clothes. But that was in the old days before the oceans rose. Way back in the old days before the oceans rose. They had schools and universities. You could study what you liked. You were free to pick your own job. You didn't work the dikes. Our leaders were elected then. You could vote for whom you chose. But that was in the old days before the oceans rose, when there weren't so many checkpoints and no ID tattoos, when they didn't impose curfews and surveillance drones weren't used. You just get up in the morning and you'd walk out of your home. But that was in the old days before the oceans rose. Way back in the old days before the oceans rose. How could they have done nothing when the ice crashed to the sea, as they watched the withered crops shrivel in the fields? It's so hard to be hopeful when you see what went before, back there in the old days before the oceans rose. When profit is the driving force, they don't care what gets lost. They can't look beyond the balance sheet to see the final cost. Now profit isn't everything, as any kid now knows, as it was back in the old days before the oceans rose. Way back in the old days before the oceans rose. No, profit isn't everything, as any kid now knows, as it was back in the old days before the oceans rose. Way back in the old days before the oceans rose.
Alan Dimmick, thank you so much. Before the Oceans Rose, is that the title of that song?
Before the Oceans Rose by Robbie O'Connell, who never recorded it, but gave me permission to hand out as many copies as I liked of his recording. So if anyone's interested, I can put a link on the in the chat.
That would be lovely. Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much. Mute yourself, please. And Rich Galloway. Rich, I thought I saw you. Are you here? Yes, there you are. All right, Rich Galloway is next, and then we'll be back with Linds Moran, our featured performer. What do you have for us, Rich?
Okay, I thought I'd do the old figurehead carver. I've done my share of carving, figureheads of quaint design, for the olives and the ruddocks and the famous black ball line, brigantines and barks and clippers, brigs and schooners, lithe and tall. But the bounding Marco Polo was the flower of them all. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. I can see that white-winged clipper reeling over scudding clouds, tramping down a hazy skyline with a norther in her shrouds. I can feel her lines of beauty, see her flecked with spume and brine, as she drives her scuppers under, and that figurehead of mine. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. 'Twas of seasoned pine I made it, clear from outer bark to core, from the finest piece of timber, from the mast pond on straight shore. Every bite of axe or chisel, every ringing mallet welt, wrought from out that block of timber all the spirit that I felt. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. I had read of Marco Polo till his daring deeds were mine, and I say them all a-glowing in that balsam-scented pine. Saw his eyes alight with purpose, facing every vagrant breeze. Saw him lilting free and careless over all the seven seas. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. That was how I did my carving, beat of heart to stroke of hand, putting into life and purpose all the action that I planned. Flowing robes and wind-tossed dresses, forms of beauty, strength, design. I saw them all and tried to carve them in that figurehead of mine. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. And when my hands grow feeble and my outward eyes grow dim, I will see again those clippers reeling o'er the ocean's rim. Great white fleet of sailing rovers, wind above and surf beneath, and the Marco Polo leading with my carving in her teeth. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood.
Rich Galloway, thank you so much. One of my favorite songs, The Old Figurehead Carver. Thank you so, so much as we are here anchored apart, my friends, anchored apart. And again, thanks to Ed, Bill, and Olivia, who have been donating as well. We want to keep this going here. The Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival is looking ahead and hoping to be live again next year and hoping to see all of you there in Portsmouth in 2021. But all of us are here right now, anchored apart here on Zoom for the performers and on YouTube for the live stream. And Linds Moran is back with another song for us. Linz, welcome back.
Thanks, Nick. one of the things that quarantine has been doing for me is giving me more time to work on the really big fiddle. So been practicing backing myself on shanties since I can't sing with you all, and especially I don't get any, you know, bass harmonies happening underneath. So here we are. Lift him up and carry him along. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Put him down where he belongs. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Ease him down and let him lay. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Screw him down and there he'll stay. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Screw the cotton, screw him down. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Let's get the hell from this silo town. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Stow him in his hole below. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Stay he must and away he'll go. Fire Maringo, fire him away. When I get back to Liverpool town, fire Maringo, fire him away. I'll pass the line to little Sally Brown. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Shout a holler high and a holler low. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Bust her blocks and make her go. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Sally, she's a pretty little craft. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Sharp to the fore and rounded in the aft. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Screw the cotton, screw him down. Fire Maringo, fire him away. Let's get the hell from a hollow town. Fire Maringo, fire him away. When I get back to Liverpool town, fire Maringo, fire him away. I'll stand your whiskies all around. Fire Maringo, fire him away.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Linds Moran.
Thanks, Nick.
Linds Moran, ladies and gentlemen. In a few minutes, Different Tack, Joseph Morneau will be joining us. But again, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to all folks who have donated so far to support the next year's festival. And also I'll remind folks again, it's a bit.ly link, bit.ly PMFF Fest 2020. You can see it in the chat, and you can also see it in the chat of both the Zoom here for the performers and the Facebook, the live Facebook stream. That is our adventure today. A lot of great stuff going on tonight. I am so grateful to the folks who are helping out the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. It's not a real festival this year, but we did have a songwriting competition, and later on this afternoon, we'll be hearing the top two finishers from the songwriting competition. And we are right now with our festival slash concert/community sing, Anchored Apart. Joseph Morneau, Different Tack. Welcome, Joseph. You can take yourself off mute and get ready to perform. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Nick. Good to see you.
Good to see you. What do you have for us, my friend?
So this is a song that was written by Dave Payton of Folk Legacy history. Dave is a tremendous concertina and hammered dulcimer player, but I never knew him to be a songwriter until I heard him at a house concert within the past year, and he did this song, and I stole it from him. With his blessing, but still. Oh, as for Different Tack, by the way, it's David Littlefield and Jeff Kaufman and myself, and because of our current COVID crisis, the three of us in the same room really wasn't going to work out. So I'm the designated frontman for this event. A whaler's life, it's a weary thing. He works from sun to sun. His only joys are an old squeeze box and a little jug of rum. All up the sail, make fast the gear. It's time to bring her out. We're headed for New England shore, at last for homeward bound. The Arctic Sea is a desolate place, few comforts can we find. Our thoughts are with the ones we love that we did leave behind. All up the sail, make fast the gear, it's time to bring her out. We're headed for New England shore, at last for homeward bound. For 3 long years we plowed the sea, hunting for the whale. At last our hold is filled with oil, from the Bedford we'll set sail. All up the sail, make fast the gear, it's time to bring her out. We're headed for New England shore, at last for homeward bound. The whale, he is such a noble beast, he swims the open sea. To hunting is our livelihood, where else we'd live and be. All up the sail, make fast the gear, it's time to bring her out. We're headed for New England shore, at last for homeward bound. All up the sail, make fast the gear, it's time to bring her out. We're headed for New England shore, at last for homeward bound.
Excellent, excellent. Different Tack, and that's Joseph Morneau. Joseph, what's the name of that song?
I think he simply calls it Homeward Bound.
Okay.
With that name, so.
Well, we'll accept that. That's wonderful. Okay. Just to let folks know, coming up are community singers Cliff Abrams, Umber, and David Jones. If he gets onto the Zoom, I'm going to assume people are there, but I know Cliff is there because I can see Cliff. I'm waving at Cliff now, and Cliff is waving back at me. So without further ado, let us be joined by our next community singer. Welcome, Cliff Abrams.
I guess I better unmute. So thanks so much. I see a lot of friendly faces out there who've heard me do this before, but I kind of like it, and it's appropriate to the sea thing, I think. Words by our favorite imperialist poet, Rudyard Kipling, set to a tune by Peter Bellamy. Straight. Oh, old horn to all Atlantic said, a hey-o to me-o. Now where did Frankie learn his trade? For he ran me down with a 3-reef mainsail all around the horn. Atlantic answered, no, not me, a hey-o to me-o. Well, you better ask the cold North Sea, for he ran me down under all plain canvas all around the horn. Well, the North Sea answered, he's my man, a hey-o to me-o. I caught him when he first began. It's Frankie Drake in an open coaster all around the sands. I caught him young and I used him sore. a hey-o to me-o. So you never shall startle Frankie more without capsizing earth and her waters all around the sands. I did not favor him at all, hey-o to me-o. I made him pull and I made him haul and stand to his trick with the common sailors all around the sands. I froze him stiff and I fogged him blind, hey-o to me-o. Then I kicked him home his road to find for what he could make in a 3-day snowstorm. All around the sands I learned him his trade of the winter's night, a hey-o to me-o. Twixt Mardyke Ford and the Dunkirk light, on a 5-knot tide with the forts a-firing all around the sands before his beard began to shoot, a hey-o to me-o. I showed him the length of the Spaniard's foot, and I reckon he clapped a boot on it later. All around the sands, well, if there's a risk that you can make, a hey-o to me-o, that's worse than what he used to take every day in the way of his business all around the sands. Then if there's a trick that you can try, a hey-o to me-o, which he has not met in times gone by, not once nor twice, nor but 10 times over, all around the sands. If you can teach him aught that's new, a hey-o to me-o, I'll give you Bruges and Newport too, and the 10 tall churches that stand between 'em, all around the sands. So storm along, my gallant captains, all around the Horn. Frankie's Trade.
Cliff Abrams, lady. Cliff, what was that called again? I'm sorry.
Frankie's Trade.
That's right. Okay.
And I learned it. I heard it first sung by a nice young woman at the last in-person shanty blast in Mystic, and I've since forgotten her name, but I'm indebted to her for learning about it.
All right. All right. Well, what do we have? So what we have now, Cliff Abrams, Umber. Whom is Umber, and are they here? He here, she here. And if so, they're next. I'm giving them about 5 seconds to chime in. It says just Umber, and I'm not sure what that means, but I'm a little dense today, quite frankly. And if we have no Umber, then we have the amazing David Jones. David, how are you? David, you could unmute yourself and
yeah,
and
I'm
perform.
here.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine. Luckily, I have a wife who knows how to operate these technological apparatuses and that, because I can't do anything myself. So she just fixed it so I can actually talk to you.
That's all right. Chris made me treasurer of the festival, and I'm not sure I'm able to do that either. So we'll see what happens. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome David Jones. And after David, Different Tack Joseph will join us again. David Jones.
I'll sing a little song about cannibalism at sea. And this song is about a ship that gets caught in the doldrums and out there for a long time, and they eventually have to decide which one of them they shall eat. And so they cast lots, and the lot falls on this fella named Robert Jackson, who comes from the song tells us, a great family. So you seamen bold, who plough the ocean, see dangers landsmen never know. It's not for honor or promotion, no tongue can tell what they undergo. In the blusterous winds, in the deep dark ocean, our ship went drifting on the sea, her headgear gone and her rudder broken, which brought us to extremity. For 14 days heartsore and hungry, seeing naught but wild water and the bitter sky. Poor fellows all stood in a totter, a casting lots which of them should die. The lot it fell on Robert Jackson, whose family was so very great. I'm free to die, but oh, my comrades, let me keep a lookout till the break of day. A full-dressed ship, like the sun a-glittering, came bearing down to their relief. As soon as this glad news was shouted, it banished all their care and grief. Our ship brought to, no longer drifting, straight in St. Vincent, Cape Verde she came. You seamen all who hear my story, I pray you never suffer the like again. There you go. Had a happy ending.
I forgot to unmute myself. I'm sorry. Yes, it did have a happy ending. Oh, Seaman Bold, ship in distress. That was a beautiful job, David. Thank you. So, where are you, David, by the way?
I'm actually right now in North Carolina, with a farm in North Carolina.
All right. So
sitting in the middle of the fields all out there.
All right. Well, let's see. From North Carolina, then. David Jones. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
We're going to send ourselves back to Joseph Morneau and Different Tack. And Joseph's got another instrument in his hands. Joseph, before you play, you know, when all this is over, you and I have to have a lunch again at the Griswold Inn.
We do.
That
was a lot of history to cover.
A lot of history to cover, indeed. All right, Joseph Morneau, Different Tack.
All right, this is a song from the wonderful Tommy Makem. Farewell to Carlingford, which he first released on the Quincy Brothers Sing of the Sea in 1968, I believe. It's, I think, one of my very first sea albums, and if you put me on the stranded island with the proverbial 10 albums, that would be one of them, so. When I was young and in my prime and could wander wild and free, there was always a longing in my mind to follow the call of the sea. So I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Ore, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more. Now on all of the stormy seven seas I have sailed before the mast, and on every voyage that I ever made, well, I swore it would be my last. But I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Ore, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more. Now I had a girl called Mary Doyle, and she lived in Green Ore, and the foremost thought was in her mind was to keep me safe on shore. But I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to green ore, and I'll think of you both day and night, until I return once more, until I return once more. Now a landsman's life, it's all his own. He can go or he can stay, but when the sea gets in your blood, when she calls, you must obey. So I'll sing farewell to Carlingford, and farewell to green ore, and I'll think of you both day and night, until I return once more, until I return once more.
Joseph Morneau, Farewell to Carlingford. I love that song, and I was sort of humming harmony along with it. Thank you very much, Joe. It's great to see you, and thanks so much for being part of this festival. Now, it's not really a festival. This isn't the festival. This is our concert community sing, anchored apart, because we are anchored apart. I'm sitting here all by myself in our big performance studio, and we've got some folks coming up in a bit. I'm going to introduce the president of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Board in a moment, the great Chris Madden. And then we'll hear a community song from Bob and Jean Zentz, and we're going to probably hear one from Chris, too. I'll twist his arm. And after that, I'm hoping Bounding Maine or some variation on Bounding Maine are here. But first, I'd like to welcome and introduce, well, first I want to thank Jane and Bob and Jarrett and Rich, who have all also donated to the festival while this wonderful live stream event is going on. We have we've raised over $300 so far, which is, we all, at the festival itself, as most of you know, we pass out those little white buckets and we say, put money in these buckets, put money in these buckets. Well, our bucket is electronic tonight, and many folks have generously filled that, and for that, we are extremely grateful. So right now, I am going to introduce my beloved brother and president of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Board, Chris Madden. Chris.
Nick, thank you for doing such a great job managing things today. And thank you to all of the performers who have already performed and have yet to perform. I'm really enjoying sitting back and listening. If we had this festival in person, as we had originally planned, I'd be running around and not getting to hear really any music at all. So in a way, this is nice. In another way, it's not. We wish we could be outside on this amazing autumn day in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, enjoying the outdoor music and singing with each other, which is really the thing that we all love. I think that we all love most about this kind of music. But things happen. It is what it is, and we are trying to make the best of it. And so thank you all for your patience with the technical challenges, for your participation as singers and as audience. This is fantastic. I forgot to grab one of the fundraising buckets out of the basement so I could shake it at you. But as you know, this festival has always been, and we intend to keep it always in the future, free for all of the audience, because this festival was founded with the idea of bringing the maritime tradition of New England to the general public in the streets of the city of Portsmouth. And we hope to keep that tradition going indefinitely. So I have some thank yous. First to Bruce McIntyre, the previous president, who has given so much knowledge and wisdom over the last year. He's been invaluable. To the previous board for trusting, turning over their baby to a new group of people. And I hope we haven't let them down so far. To Mike Blair, Gail Finn, and Phyllis Sloat, who stayed on the board and have helped immensely with the transition. To Jeff Keller, Rob McEwen, Nick Noble, and Persis Thorndike, who joined the board. To Jamie Bishop and Kate Clifford, who have been all but voting members of the board. They've been our advisory committee, and they are 2/3 of the programming committee for today. They have been fantastic. Thank you so much. And to all of you, to the audience, to the musicians, to everybody who's helping us weather this storm while we are anchored apart here, and will keep us going. Donations made today, there is a link in the chat and I'll post it again shortly. Donations made today will partly go to support PMFF and make us ready for, we hope, an overcompensating festival in 2021 to make up for this event, which is great, but not the same as getting together in person. And also partly to pay the featured performers today, whom we had hoped to hear in person. So your donations will be split between the festival and the performers. So please visit that link and give generously. Nick, what am I forgetting to mention?
How good looking I am.
I always forget that for some reason. Yes, you're looking particularly dapper today.
Anyway, no, I don't think you've forgotten anything. I also want to thank, because, you and I are the faces on the screen today, but Jeff and Persis and Kate and Jamie and Rob and Phyllis and Gail, and all these folks are behind the scenes making everything work. And I'm sitting here with lists and people texting me and, jumping back and forth, but I couldn't do it without these lovely texts I get from Jamie, and all these folks are here, and Kate and Phyllis sending us all the money that's coming in. It's wonderful. So Chris, you haven't forgotten anything because your memory is much better than mine.
Except I do want to also thank Chris, who has been our fearless leader and is the one who got the second generation, I guess, of PMFF started. So thank you, Chris, for not letting PMFF die.
Well, thank you. I tell people I just got shoved to the front of the parade. There were, when it was announced that the festival was going to wrap up, there was a hue and outcry from the community that this event in this community that we've built was too important to just let it go away. And yeah, I was the foolish one who opened my mouth and got shoved to the front, but we really could not have done any of this without all of the people helping out. The people I named and a whole bunch of other people whom I didn't. So thank each and every one of you.
Thank you, Chris, very, very much. I think we're going to move ahead. We've got a couple of community songs coming up. Chris, we're gonna actually beg you to do a community song in a few minutes, just because we are so far ahead of the game right now, and I'm very pleased with that. I was always worried it would be the other way around, that we'd be running late, but right now we're not running late, and we'll have some more community singers. We didn't announce, at least not for a while, we haven't announced at the very end of this concert community sing. We're going to have an open sing. We're going to have an after sing where anybody can chime in and sing a song. I think those of us on the board who have been wanting to sing but have told, family hold back, are chafing at the bit to do that. But we'll be probably putting out notices to people as well, saying, would you like to sing? Would you like to do another song? As we keep this thing going.
We will post the link. We'll post the link to join that in the YouTube chat towards the end of this event. So stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned indeed. All right. Bob and Jean Zentz, are you here? Yes, you are here. I saw you. So it's your turn to pop on and take yourself off mute and stare at the camera and say, hi, Nick. Where are you? I saw you, Bob. I saw you, Jean. I saw you here. I know it's early. Oh, there they are. Bob and Jean are listed as listening, but maybe they can't hear us yet. And it is early for them. Chris, I'm going to ask you to sing now. You got to come back on and do one song, okay. And I will send a message to Bob and Jean saying, I know it's early, but we're running early, and can you sing?
We're here.
Oh, they are here. You see, never mind, Chris. You're saved for a moment. Hi, Jean. Hi, Bob. Bob, it's been a while since you've been here in beautiful Worcester.
It's true, and gosh, it's going to be too much of a while before we're up that way again, but it's
I know.
Stop in virtually.
Stop in virtually. Well, you were on my show, my goodness, several years ago, and we had a wonderful time. And so I'm so glad that you and Jean are here now to share a song with us at our community sing / concert event, anchored apart, because we are anchored apart. But you, like many of us at least, are lucky to be anchored apart with someone as wonderful as Jean. So Gene and Bob Zins.
Aw, and,
What do you-
and vice versa.
Fair enough. What do you have for us, my friends?
Well, we thought we would do an interesting little transition of a melody that wound up with 3 songs surrounding it. And I think the first 2 will be completely self-explanatory to those who have enjoyed the music of the sea over the years. And the last one is one about a local treasure of ours down here on the Chesapeake Bay, the skipjack. And it borrows the tune that starts off on the South American continent, or actually on a river in South America.
And as you like to say, Pete Seeger once told you and many others, never waste a good tune.
And so the more the merrier. Now the Essequibo River is the king of rivers all. But Itanana, we are somebody, oh. The Essequibo River is the king of rivers all. But Itanana, we are somebody, oh. Somebody, oh. Somebody, oh. But Itanana, we are somebody, oh. Somebody, oh. Somebody, oh. Now we are somebody. Now the Essequibo skipper is the king of skippers all. But now we are somebody. Oh, Essequibo skipper is the king of skippers all. But now we are somebody. Oh, somebody. Oh, somebody. Oh. But now we are somebody. Oh. Somebody, oh, somebody, oh, but now we are somebody, oh. Now I thought I heard the old man say, John Campbell to lie. Today is Saturday. John Campbell to lie. To lie. John Campbell to lie. And it's one more pull, and that'll do. John Campbell to lie. For we're the bullies to see her through. John Campbell to lie. Help us out. To lie. Oh, to lie. Well, a number of years ago, as the Norfolk downtown area was being sort of reconstructed, a brewing company in Baltimore donated a lovely skipjack to us. It was cleverly named or renamed the Skipjack Norfolk. And they asked me to come up with a song to welcome it into the town. And I did a lot of reading on skipjacks and how they were becoming extinct because a lot of the oysters were becoming extinct. And so it seems like we're fighting an endless war with things that are becoming extinct, and let's not be that ourselves. Anyway, fell asleep on deck the other night. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay, when a ghostly sloop hove into sight. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay, Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay, Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. She's the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. She was broad in the beam with a shallow draft. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay, had a trim little yawl boat hanging aft. From the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay, Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack Jack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. She's the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. As I come alongside, I heard a mournful song from the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Said my dredges are empty, now the oyster's gone from the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. She's the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. And I awoke as from a dream of the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. There was a sail on the horizon off the starboard beam. Was it the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay? Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Buddy ta-na-na, we are somebody, oh. Ta-na-na, we are somebody, oh. Last skipjack on the...
Bob and Jean Zentz.
And giving us a chance to sing with you about a beautiful bay.
A medley of the same tune. I love that.
That's right. Well, why not? Why let a good tune go to waste? And by the way, greetings to you from Norfolk, Virginia.
Excuse me.
Just south of Portsmouth, Virginia.
Across the river from Portsmouth, Virginia. And I just want to say, I don't know where he is. I'm in Norfolk.
Anchored apart. Thank you, Bob and Jean Zentz. Thank you so much. All right, folks, mute yourselves. We're getting a little improv here because we are ahead of the game, but I've been told that Bounding Maine is ready. Dean, are you there? And if Bounding Maine is ready, we're going to go with Bounding Maine. And then I have a few thank yous to give, and then the Portermen. And then we'll hear from Elizabeth and Ernie. And we'll see if we have other folks who want to dive in for Community Sing. And then AJ, we have a whole bunch of stuff coming up. But right now, Bob and Jean, if you could mute yourselves, and Dean.
Trying to work it out, the logistics. Go get the mouse and I can do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, he's got to go get the mouse so they can do it. And Dean, are you here? Is Bounding Maine here ready to go?
Dean is here. Bounding Maine is here. As you know, we're a quintet, and singing in a harmonic fashion via Zoom is next to impossible. So some of our members have volunteered to lead songs, and we're just going to look good.
Well, you do you do look good, so that's fun. And where are you, sir?
We're spread out between Chicago and Milwaukee, with 3 of us in between.
All right. So, Dean, what do you have for us, my friend?
Well, let's see. John, are you going to lead?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is spectacularly awkward, but in a fun way, because I see so many faces that I've seen in so many different places. So this is great. So like Dean said, we usually sing all together with 5 notes all at a time. That not being an option because we're all socially distanced, I'm going to do Bully in the Alley, knowing that all of you know it. So you will sing loud enough so that there will be plenty of other voices besides mine. So let's see how it goes. And I know that some of you are calling from over the Atlantic Ocean, so you're going to need to project. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down at Shinbo now. Now, Sally is the girl that I love dearly. Way, bully in the alley. Sally is the girl that I'd slice nearly. Bully down at Shinbo now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. For 7 long years now I courted Sally, way bully in the alley. All she would do is dilly-dally, bully down in Chinbo now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chinbo now. I bought her silks, I bought her laces, way bully in the alley. Coronavirus means we can't go to any places, bully down in Chinbo now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chinbo now. Well, I'll leave sailing, I'll be a sailor, way bully in the alley. I'll skip town and I'll ship aboard a whaler, bully down in Chinbo now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chinbo now. Well, then I'll get back and then I'll marry Sally, way bully in the alley. We'll have kids and we'll count them by the tally, bully down in Chinbo now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way bully in the alley. Bully Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chinbo now. One more time, here we go. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Slow down. Bully down in Chinbo now. Woo!
Well done, John. That was awesome. Thank you. And when you're singing, I'm scrolling through and there's, Gina, they're bopping along like this and people are really getting into it. Dean, you got something for us too, or what we got going?
Well, I tell you what, I think we represent the female part of our group. The twins are going to sing for the rest of us. And that would be on your screen, Gina Dalby, but it is Gina Dalby and her twin sister, Christy Dalby.
Nick, you're muted.
What?
Yeah, but you're going to be singing.
All right. So we're going to do Lever Johnny. So it's a song usually, as Dean said, built of 5 parts. So if there's a note or 2 missing, please judge us gracefully. And one of the really wonderful things about a venue like this is so many people coming together to share their love of shanties. And we'd like to give a shout out to Chris and Ian of Locked Up Together, who are listening in from the UK and sent us a note. So hi, Chris and Ian, and hi, everyone that we can't see in person. We miss you all. Oh, the times was hard and the wages low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And the grub was bad and the gales to blow. And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the gales to blow, and it's time for us to leave her. I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. He can go ashore and take your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the gales to blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, her stern was foul and the voyage was long. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And the winds was bad and the gale was strong, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the gales to blow, and it's time for us to leave her. And we'll leave her tight, and we'll leave her trim. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. We will heed the hungry, pack it in, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the gales do blow, and it's time for us to leave her. And now it's time to say goodbye. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the old pier heads are dry and nigh, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the sails do blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the gales do blow. And it's time for us to leave her.
I am a sucker for harmony. Gina and Kristen, thank you so, so much for that. Bounding Maine, thank you so, so much. There'll be more thank you. There'll be more opportunities to sing as we move along. As I said, we're a little ahead of the game. And again, I'd like to thank, oh my God, more people have been giving to support the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. Laura, Nathaniel, Dave, and Dane and Ellen, and David and the Gage family, Alyssa, Cliff, Richard, Gail, Sandy. Wow. This is so wonderful. Thank you all. And the link is there in the chat and also on the YouTube chat, and I'm sure more is coming in. I'm a little bit behind the epic. I'm going to let people know what's coming up. Also, in a few minutes, the Portermen, and then we'll have community singers from Elizabeth Block, Ernie separate from the Portermen, I think, and then the Portermen again. Then AJ Wright, and then Tom Meldrum and Martha Bowen, AJ again. Then we'll have the stars of the songwriting competition, the first and second place winners with sharing their songs with us. Then Edith and Bennett, we have Paul Beck and Eleanor and Sam Simmons coming up later. And if you want to sing some more, check the chat out. I know that our behind the scenes folks, Kate and Jamie and Persis, are looking for more folks to sing as well as things go ahead. So we'll try to keep track here of what's going on. Am I talking too much? Yes, I am talking about Portermen. Are the Portermen ready? Who's here from the Portermen? I actually saw a thing that said the Portermen a minute ago, but who's here from the Portermen, and are you ready? I know it's a little early. Let's see who that's. Yep, Portermen right there. It says that, the Portermen. There's a little screen set that says the Portermen. If you are here from the Portermen, please unmute yourself and reveal yourself to the world so we can keep going. Anchored Apart here from the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival's Anchored Apart community sing and concert. And Gina just chatted that they're so missing singing with the rest of Bounding Maine, and that really echoes what Chris said earlier. The key to this music, of course, is singing together and singing in harmony. Thank you, ladies, for bringing harmony to us. So if you want to sing again, put singer in the chat, and we're going to have first priority to those who have not yet led a song, but we'll make it work. I'm still calling for the Portermen. I'll do one more before I let some of our folks who are online dive ahead. I know that, again, timing, we're a little early, so they may not be ready yet. Rob, you just went off, so talk to me. Your mute is off now. Are you going to say hi, Nick?
Look at me. I'm in the dirty shadow. Yeah, we're here like pinting away going, I wonder when we're up. So you're a little ahead of schedule. Maybe
we are ahead of schedule. Do you need time or?
Yeah, we could do it 5 more minutes and we'll get set up.
All right. So Elizabeth Block. Why don't you mute yourself, Rob? And Elizabeth Block, are you ready? I saw you getting your guitar ready. Elizabeth, are you ready to share with us?
Yes, I am, but I want to stand up. Let's see.
I have total faith in you.
I'll still be visible. Yep, there we go.
There you go. Elizabeth Block. Where are you, Elizabeth, by the way?
I am in Toronto, Canada.
Ah, one of our international folks.
Yes. And this is a wonderful song by the wonderful Ian Bell. When he wrote it, he hadn't retired yet. He was still the curator of a little museum in Port Dover, which is on the north shore of Lake Ontario. And he was putting together an exhibit of maritime tattoos. And he put out the word to ask people who had tattoos to come in, have them photographed, and tell them the story of how they got these tattoos. And one of these people was Trevor Hodge, who was an elderly Brit who had sailed in the British Navy, sailed on the Great Lakes, and then plied his trade as a tattooist in country fairs. And Ian says he came with the tools of his trade, his traditional designs, and his own skin. And Ian said, listening to the story of his life, I realized I had a song here. All I had to do was add the rhymes. The Mermaid and the Swallow. In Bristol just before the war, the tankers loomed along the shore, and I would hang about the door of a shop down by the quay. It was there when I was just a lad, I took the trade I've always had, and where the hand of my first master made its mark on me. The Union Jack, the Rose and Crown, the Mermaid and the Swallow, a dagger and an anchor, and a cock upon the knee. And as the bombers droned above, we inked the names of the girls they loved in hearts, upon the hearts of oak who'd soon put out to sea. I was a little older when the war was over. Even then the Navy still had need of men, and so I signed aboard. In engine rooms and on the grates I plied my trade among my mates, gave them the marks they wanted most for what they could afford. The Union Jack, the Rose and Crown, the Mermaid and the Swallow, a dagger and an anchor, and a cock upon the knee. Down there in the oily dark, on arms and backs I left my mark, forever etched in indigo on sailor boys at sea. And then one day I came to land across the Western Ocean. I shipped out of Halifax to sail the inland sea. Sometimes when I stepped ashore, I used to take a notion that I was not as young a man as I once used to be. Now the canvas I sail under promises a world of wonder. Step right up, I'll make my mark at a price that you can pay. In the dying days of August, captain in a sea of sawdust, but the fancies of a sailor's life are out of style today. The Union Jack, the Rose and Crown, the Mermaid and the Swallow, a dagger and an anchor, and a cock upon the knee. And through the awning of my pitch, the sea waves like a muddy ditch, as from this country fair I watch ships gliding towards the sea. The Union Jack, the Rose and Crown, the Mermaid and the Swallow, a dagger and an anchor, and a cock upon the knee. And where my shirt sleeve meets my skin, I see a map of where I've been, and where the hand of my first master made its mark on me.
Elizabeth Block with the Mermaid and the Swallow. That was wonderful. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us from Canada and giving us that wonderful song. Thank you. All right. We've got all sorts of stuff coming up, and we're going to go to the Portermen if they're ready. And after the Portermen, we're going to see if we've got a couple more community singers we can dive in. As I said, we're a little ahead of the game, and so some folks are coming up on time. So we send a schedule. Bless you. So the Portermen are there. So we got.
You guys can hear us over there?
I can hear you.
Say something, boys.
Hello.
Something, boys. What he's hearing on there. All right. I'm going on mute. I'm going over to the other camera.
We'll miss you. The Portermen, we're going to have the Portermen do at least one song, maybe even two in a row. But every featured act gets two songs. And I've got to see, but I do want to do one, and let's see if we have some communities, then one after, okay?
Sure, whatever you want.
Let's start with you. Go ahead, the Portermen, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Yeah. Are you on mute?
We're gonna mute this thing over here.
Yeah, turn the speaker off.
Yeah, shut it down. Yeah, while they're doing that, so yeah, we have been in preparation for this event in social isolation, social distancing for almost 3 weeks here at the Poor Farm, P-O-R-E. It's actually quite wealthy. Anyway, we'll give this a lash and see how it goes. And if you need to fill time, we'll sing all afternoon, whatever it takes. All right, boys, hit it. Off we go.
Ready? Yeah. Sing ho for a brave and gallant ship and a fair and favoring breeze, a bully crew and a captain to carry me over the seas. To carry me over the seas, me boys, to me true love far away. We're taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. Then blow your winds high-o, roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore to hear the music play. I'm off on the morning train to cross the raging Maine. I'm taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. My true love, she was beautiful. My true love, she was young. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, bright and silvery was her tongue. And silvery was her tongue, me boys, and now she's far away. She's taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. Then blow your winds high-o, roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore to hear the music play. I'm off on a morning train to cross the raging Maine. I'm taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. Oh, dark and dismal was the day when last I saw my Meg. She'd a government band around each hand and another one round her leg. Which leg? And another one round her leg, me boys, and the big ship left the bay. Do she said, remember me 10,000 miles away. Then blow your winds high-o, roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England shore to hear the music play. I'm off on the morning train to cross the raging Maine. I'm taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. I wish I were a boatswain bold or even a bombardier. I'd build a boat and away I'd float and straight to my true love steer. And straight to my true love steer, me boys, where the dancing dolphins play. And the whales and sharks are having their larks 10,000 miles away. Then blow your winds high-o, roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore to hear the music play. I'm off on the morning train to cross the raging Maine. I'm taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. I'm taking a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away.
How'd that come out?
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Portermen. Can you guys hear me?
They'll take it over there.
Can the Portermen hear me?
You boys.
I'm trying to say, can the Portermen hear me?
I can put it on mute here.
All right. Anyhow, I do have. I'm not sure if they can hear me, so I'm trying to get things settled up. Are the Portermen on the other screen or not? Oh, well, this is so exciting. Ernie Pigeon, are you there? Because you were going to go as a community singer, and I know you're hanging out with them. There's Ernie. All right, hold on. Unmute yourselves now. You guys are muted.
I've got a shanty that is one of the long chain of Strum Along John shanties. This one by John Short, collected by Sharp back about 100 years ago. And it's called Star Me Along John. I was prompted to learn this one by listening to the singing of Jim McGeehan on the wonderful CD set short, sharp short, sharp shanties. So goes like this. I wished I was old Stormy son. To me way, hey, storm along, John. I wished I was old Stormy's son. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. And if I was old Stormy's son, to me way, hey, storm along, John. I'd build a ship of 1,000 tons. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. I'd fill her up with Jamaica rum. To me way, hey, storm along, John. And all me shellbacks, they'd have some. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. I'd treat each as well and raise your pay. To me way, hey, storm along, John. And stand yous drinks 5 times each day. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. Now was you ever in Quebec? To me way, hey, storm along, John. Stowing timbers on the deck. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. And I wish I was in Baltimore. To me way, hey, storm along, John. On the good old American shore. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. And when we come to Liverpool town, to me way, hey, storm along, John. We'll chase them Judies round and round. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John. Now storm along and around we'll go. To me way, hey, storm along, John. Now storm along through ice and snow. Come along, get along, Stormy along, John.
Woo. Thank you, Ernie. Ernie, I was worried when I first saw you on the screen here because you were in a car driving along. And
we're wanting to stay in touch as we made the trip out to the farm here. So, so we gave it a try.
Well, we're going to go with a Portermen once again, I think. We're going to get the Portermen up there again. I've got some folks possibly lined up as they get on for more community singing. We'll have to see who's coming up. I'm not going to give you guys much notice, though. I'd like to get us back on our time schedule. But we're having a great time here, and I'll be thanking more folks after the Portermen do their next song for their dog. Who's your friend, by the way? What part does the dog sing?
The good part.
The tuning note.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Portermen.
I shipped aboard of a Liverpool liner.
Hey, hey, roll and go.
I shipped aboard of a 49er.
Hey, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money on with Sally Brown.
Sally Brown from New York City.
Hey, hey, roll and go.
Oh, Sally Brown, you're very pretty.
Hey, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown.
Sally Brown, she's a ripe tomato.
Hey, hey, roll and go.
She drinks dark rum and she chews tobacco.
Hey, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown.
7 long years I courted Sally.
Hey, hey, roll and go.
The sweetest girl in all the valley.
Hey, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown.
7 long years she wouldn't marry.
Way, hey, roll and go.
And I no longer care to tarry.
Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money on with Sally Brown.
So courted Sal, her only daughter.
Way, hey, roll and go.
For her I sail upon the water.
Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown.
Now my troubles are all over.
Way, hey, roll and go.
Oh, Sally's married a dirty soul.
Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown. And we rolled all night and we rolled all day. Gonna spend my money along with Sally Brown.
Sean.
Yes.
Nice, great harmonies, and that dog, whatever the dog's name is, perfect part. That was awesome. Thank you guys. That was terrific. We may come back to you in a minute. We'll see what happens. But I have some community singers here. Did Michael O'Leary come on yet? And if Michael did, he can lead a song. I'm looking, I don't see him. Well, I think we'll die. We're trying to get back on our time track. So Rick Polay, where are you? You're on the list for a community singer. So
I'm here.
It's your second time around, and give us a song after Rick. I'll say a few words, and AJ Wright will join us. But Rick, what do you have?
Oh, I sing sea shanty from both stern and bow. I'm as happy a man as conditions allow. There's no other life for a singer like me but to sail cyber sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail cyber sea. I'm an old salty dog, but I'm learning new tricks. I can sail round the world with a couple of clicks. I navigate Zoom like a young city geek. To sing with me mates and not feel antique while we sing sea shanty from both stern and bow. I'm as happy a man as conditions allow. There's no other life for a singer like me but to sail cyber sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail cyber sea. I boot up a device and plug in a mic. Camera ready, I fiddle with light. I join song circles through the magic of Zoom, but I miss voices ringing around a real room. When I sing sea shanty from both stern and bow, I'm as happy a man as conditions allow. There's no other life for a singer like me but to sail cyber sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail cyber sea. Me wife's out in the garden a-picking some kale so we can have supper before we set sail. She sings while she works and she sings oh so sweet. She's used to me leaving to sing with the fleet, where I sing sea shanty from both stern and bow. I'm as happy a man as conditions allow. There's no other life for a singer like me but to sail cyber sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail cyber sea.
Rick Polay, Cyber Sea, thank you so much for that. Coming up, again, I'm looking through the list here, and I'm going to have AJ Wright in a couple of minutes, but I have one more song. There's a lot of people on our list who haven't led yet, but they haven't yet reached Zoom. So until they reach Zoom, I can't do anything about them. So I'm going to ask Bill Dunlap. I know it's short notice, Bill, and if you can't, let me know. I'm going to ask Bill Dunlap. That we'll have AJ Wright, followed by the community singers Tom Meldrum and Martha Bowen. Then AJ again and some more community singers, so I'll let you know about. But is Bill Dunlap there?
Yep, right here.
All right, so Bill Dunlap is up. And then after Bill Dunlap, I'll thank a few folks, and AJ will join us, then Tom and Martha, then AJ, then a couple more community singers before we get into our winners of this year's songwriting competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Dunlap.
This is not, strictly speaking, a sea song, but the third verse is about one of the great sea battles in naval history. So hopefully it will count here. It's a song from the early days of the Napoleonic Wars and a major battle between the British and the French. 'Twas in the year of 93, the French did plant an olive tree, a symbol of great liberty, and patriots danced all around it. And was not I oft telling thee, the French could fight right heartily, and the Carmagnole would set you free. Ah, but you would never mind me. In 94, a new campaign, the tools of darkness did maintain. Gallia's sons did form and train, and, Gallia's sons did form and train, and set their foes a-running. And was not I oft telling thee, the French could fight right heartily, and the Carmagnole would set you free? Ah, but you would never mind me. On June the 1st, two fleets at sea did drub each other heartily. Both sides claimed the victory and gloried in the slaughter. Jean-Bon Saint-André was the boy, the hero of the French convoy. John Bull did ring the bells in joy, which gave the French much laughter.
Whoa. Are we done? Can you all hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Thank you, Bill, for that song. And coming up, AJ Wright. Anais, are you ready to roll, my friend?
I am.
Well, Anais, hi there. Welcome to the show, Anais. How are you doing?
All right.
Chris Madden just tells me that Bill fell off Zoom the last time he did that song too, so maybe Zoom has a grudge against that song.
There you go.
We'll try to get back. So right now, just to let folks know where we are and how we're going to do it. AJ, then Tom Meldron and Martha Bowen, then AJ again. And then we'll have Michael O'Leary, Elisa Davies, and the Portermen. And then the songwriting folks, John and Stuart. And then we're going to try to be back on track by then so we can have Edith and Bennett.
Maybe where I can see you.
And those folks going up there. Nice T-shirt, AJ. Thank you for
I
that.
saw a bunch of people wearing them, so I had to go put it on.
I see. All right, AJ, it's great to see you again. What do you have for us?
I have, both of my songs are by request. And can you hear me fine? Working out good? All right. Neither of these are shanties, but they're both very good in my opinion. So, I'm going to go to gallery view so it feels like I'm playing to people. As I walked out on May morning, down by the riverside, there I beheld a bold fisherman come rowing on the tide, come rowing on the tide. There I beheld a bold fisherman come rowing on the tide. Good
on this river clear. I come a-fishing for your sweet sail on this river clear. He drew his boat up to the bank and to the lady went. He took her by the lily white hand, which was his full intent, which was his full intent. He took her by the lily white hand, which was his full intent. He drew his cloak off from his back and gently laid it down. There she espied 3 chains of gold come dangling 3 times round, come dangling 3 times round. There she espied 3 chains of gold come dangling 3 times round. She fell upon her bended knee, for mercy she implored. For calling you bold fishermen, when I fear you are some lord. I fear you are some lord. For calling you bold fishermen, when I fear you are some lord. Rise up, my pretty fair maid, from off your bended knee. There's not one word that you have said that has offended me, that has offended me. There's not one word that you have said that has offended me. He took this maid all by the hand, saying, married we shall be, and you shall have a bold fisherman to row you on the sea, to row you on the sea, and you shall have a bold fisherman to row you on the sea.
AJ Wright, thank you so much. That was terrific. Thank you, AJ. All right, Tom Meldrum, you're up as our community singer next, followed by Martha Bowen, and then AJ will be back with us. Tom, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Then I guess I'm here.
Go for it, Tom.
I think I'll take a trip with the pump chanting. Let's see. Bumpy boys, bumper glide down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones for just 1,000 miles from home. They say life has its ups and downs, and really now is life profound. A cat to take the captain around, and us bumpy boys before we drown. Bumpy boys, bumper glide down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones for just 1,000 miles from home. Times that they do all the doors. So come on, boys, let's run some more. No matter if you're stiff or sore, run through. We pumped this bit before. So pumper boys, pumper fly, down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones, we're just 1,000 miles from home. Sometimes when I am in me bed thinking of the day I wish that I could wake up dead, but pumping's all I get instead. Pumpy boys, pumper dry, down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones, we're just 1,000 miles from home. I wish that I could make the die, the swine he built the stump to find. I'd bring him back from where he cries and pump him till the putters cry. Pump me boys, pumper dry, down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones, we're just 1,000 miles from home. But though I used him for his art, I wouldn't back it and the lark. From morning sun till getting dark, the animals all far to work. Pumpy boys, pumper dry, down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones, we're just 1,000 miles from home. There's so much water down below, really don't know how to go. So bunkers, let's roll and go, but I think we're bound for Davy Jones. Pumper dry, down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your back and break your bones, we're just 1,000 miles from home.
Unmute. Tom, thank you very much.
Yep.
That was terrific. Thank you so much, our community singer. And up next, Martha Bowen. Martha, I know you're here. I saw you a few minutes ago.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed. Martha, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm
It's
coming
great to
from
see you.
Gloucester.
All
And,
right.
I want to do a song that I wrote in 2014 to celebrate the Charles Morgan restoration and sale. And I also want to give a little background. In the 70s, whaling was stopped commercially. And as a result of that, scrimshaw, which had been my profession, became impaired professionally, and I didn't want to do it as a hobby. So I gave it up. But while I was doing business as a scrimshander, the last whaling company out of Richardson Bay in San Francisco Bay, the owner manager commissioned me to do his business logo on sperm whale teeth, which he provided. There was no money transacted in this, but anyway, I thought it was a privilege to have worked for this company, the man of this company who had a tracheotomy and his days were numbered. So anyway, I am going to do a song that won't win a prize, but it's about my life and it's also about whaling history. Have you ever seen the scrimshaw that the whaleman carves so fine? It's a wonder to behold, I wish it all were mine. There are ladles, swifts, and canes they made for sweethearts back at home. Have you ever held a sperm whale tooth and stroked it in your hand? It is awesome, but it's best untouched by man. That is hard to say when you see the whaleman's art carved on sperm whale teeth about their lives apart. Sailing from Nantucket and New Bedford on large square rig factory ships, the seamen boiled whale blubber into oil, and cleaning teeth and bone they labored long, hard hours. Whales were killed and men were lost and drowned, all for what? To light the streets and homes on shore, lubricate machinery, fashion hoops and corset stays. Many whales are gone, and most whale ships too. But for one, the Charles Morgan, she sails again. Have you ever seen the scrimshaw that the whalemen carved at sea? I have tried it, and I've loved it, but it's time all whales live free. I have tried it, and I've loved it, but it's time all whales live free. That's it.
Thank you very much, Martha. Scrimshaw by Martha Bowen. Thank you. All right, we've got some mute yourself, please, folks. We've got AJ Wright is back. And AJ, hi, Anais, how are you?
All right.
And that first song was beautiful. What do you have for this time? You said it was a request, right?
Yes, a very different one. I was very privileged last year to be in a tiny song circle with some friends, and we went around, and this enormous number of detailed Napoleonic songs that nobody sang very often got pulled out in sequence, and it was delightful. So this was my offering for that. And it does have a chorus, but it's a very short one. Ye war-beaten tribes who are friends of great Bonaparte, who come to view the rocks and cliffs on St. Helena's shore. The wind it blew a hurricane, and the lightning on our decks did crash. The seagulls they were screaming, and the billows loud did roar. Those proud rocks, the stranger said, as he viewed that wild and dreary spot, where once Napoleon Bonaparte his painful eyes did close. Though in the grave his bones may rot, his name will never be forgot. This grand conversation of Napoleon arose. A dreadful army he did rise to conquer Moscow by surprise. He led his men across the Alps, oppressed by frost and snow. But when he neared that Russian line, he then began to open his eyes. For Moscow was a-blazing, and his men ran to and fro. With dauntless eyes he viewed the flames, and in wildest accents he exclaimed, "Retreat, ye gallant heroes, while time so quickly flows." There were thousands died on that retreat, and many did their horses eat. This grand conversation of Napoleon arose. Next at Waterloo these Frenchmen fought, commanded by brave Bonaparte, assisted by Field Marshal Ney, but he was bought with gold. When Lutcher led those Prussians in, it broke Napoleon's heart within. Where are my 30,000 men? Alas, I have been sold. He made one gallant charge across, crying, "Oh, brave boys, I fear 'tis lost." The field was in confusion with blood and dying woe. The bunch of roses did advance, and boldly entered into France. This grand conversation of Napoleon arose. Now Bonaparte is doomed to be a prisoner across the sea, on St. Helena's shore, that lone and dreary spot. It's there he is doomed to be, till death shall end his misery. His true son followed after him, that was another plot. It's long enough they have been dead, the blast of war around him spread. When will our sapling rise again to face our daring foes? So now, brave boys, when honor calls, we'll boldly face those wooden walls. This grand conversation of Napoleon arose.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you, AJ, so much. That you have a wonderful voice.
Great.
That was beautiful. That was awesome. All right, we've got some community singers to go through here. We're about a half hour ahead of schedule, which is wonderful. But originally, of course, performers were told to come at certain times. And some of them haven't made it yet because they're looking at their clocks, which are the real world. And if we're not in the real world right here, folks, we are anchored apart on Zoom and YouTube from the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. Of course, I don't think we've ever been in the real world. That's part of the charm of it. So I have Michael O'Leary, Alyssa Davies, and then the Portermen again, for sure. And then we might get a little ambitious depending who shows up on time. So I'm just going to give you heads up, Peter and Audi, I might be calling on you. Anyhow, we're moving ahead now, and let's have Michael O'Leary. Michael, you made it back visually. That's great.
I did. I don't know what happened there for a second, but I lost my video. So anyway, thanks. It worked out. So good to be with you all. And I'm tuning in from Cape Ann, lovely Cape Ann. So I'm going to sing that great Gordon Bach song, Cape Ann. You can pass your days in the dory, boys. You can go with the worst and the best. But don't ever go with old Engleman, boys. Each trip you go could well be your last. And it's don't you remember Cape Ann, boys? Don't you remember Cape Ann? That crazy old drunk was a loser, boys. He never cared if we never made in. And it's don't you remember Cape Ann, boys? Don't you remember Cape Ann? You'll never catch me on the trawl again. It's surely no life for a dog or a man. And don't you remember the shoals, boys? Don't you remember the shoals? The old man asleep at the wheel, boys. By God, it was black and cold. And it's don't you remember Cape Ann, boys? Don't you remember Cape Ann? You'll never catch me on the trawl again. It's surely no life for a dog or a man. And the mate was the man with the gall, boys. He got the old man away from the wheel. He took him below and he locked up the hatch, threw all the booze o'er the rail, singing, don't you remember Cape Ann, boys? Don't you remember Cape Ann? You'll never catch me on the trawl again. It's surely no life for a dog or a man. And it's don't you remember Cape Ann, boys? Don't you remember Cape Ann? You'll never catch me on the trawl again. It's surely no life for a dog or a man.
Oh, Michael, thank you. Thank you, Michael. What a beautiful song. I love that song. I saw so many people singing along with it. I'm sure you could feel the harmony, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before we move on to Alyssa, I want to say thank you to a whole bunch more folks who have made contributions to the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, to Clifford, to Michael, to Georgia Lee, to Joan, and to Colleen. And we've raised a lot of money. You know, I will tell you, I am, for better or for worse, the treasurer now of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Board. And so I set my own private goal to see how much we could raise this time. And I won't tell you what my goal was, but I will tell you we're only about $400 away from it, and that's pretty good. So if you want to donate, there is a link. It's a bit.ly link, Portsmouth. It's PMF Fest 2020. And I know they'll put it again in the chat and on Zoom, and they'll put it again in the chat on YouTube, because we would love to hear from you and make that work. Yes, so there's the donation just went into the Zoom chat if you're interested, and I'm sure that it's going to go on the YouTube chat as well. I'm just not looking at YouTube right now because I am looking at you and all your wonderful faces and hearing all your wonderful voices. Speaking of wonderful, Alyssa Davies, please.
Hi, I'm Elisa Davies. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm going to sing Santiana. So, Santiana gained the day away, Santiana, Napoleon of the West, they say, along the plains of Mexico. Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. She's a fast clipper ship and a bully good crew, away, Santiana. And an old salt yank for a captain too, along the plains of Mexico. Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Santiana fought for gold, away, Santiana. Around Cape Horn through the ice and snow, along the plains of Mexico. Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. 'Twas on the field of Molly Del Rey, away, Santiana. Well, both his legs got blown away along the plains of Mexico. Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. It was a fierce and bitter strife, away, Santiana. The General Taylor took his life along the plains of Mexico. Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Santiana, now we mourn, away, Santiana. We left him buried off Cape Horn, along the plains of Mexico.
Alyssa Davies, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. I posted on the chat the current order. It's still going to have to be a little flexible. But Alyssa just performed. The Portermen are next. Then Jon Campbell, our songwriting honoree. I saw him on and then I saw him off, but I'm sure he'll be here. If he's not, we'll move ahead. And then Peter and Audi Souza. And then after Peter and Audi, Stuart Markus, our songwriting honoree. Edith and Bennett, Paul Beck, Eleanor and Sam Simmons, Edith and Bennett. And there's a long list of folks who want to perform or perform again. And that's fine because we'll be an open sing once we're done here. And we'll go as long as we can. It's going to be an adventure. But right now, I'd like to welcome back. What is the dog's name? Get yourself off mute, Portermen. What is the dog's name? Portermen are still on mute.
There we go. Ruskin. We're back.
What's the dog's name?
Ruskin.
All right. Well, I listen. What do you have for us, Rob?
Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
All right. The dog is called Ruskin. And this is not a song about Ruskin. I will do a version of Let the Bull Giant Run, a song I particularly love. Eliza Lee, and I love it because it always reminds me of the song Buttermilk Hill, the Civil War American song, but even before that, it reminds me of Shularoon, Shulagraw, good old Gaelic song. Boys, are we ready?
Ready!
Oh, the smartest clipper you can find.
Oh, way, ho, are you most gun?
Is the Margaret Evans of the Blue Star Line. Ho!
Clear away the dragon, let the bull jack run. Hey, ring a jig in a Thompson car. Oh, way, ho, are you most gun? With eyes a lily all on me. Clear away the dragon, let the bull jack run.
Oh, the Margaret Evans of the Blue Star Line.
Oh, way, ho, are you you most done?
She's never a day behind her time.
Clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Hey, ring a jig and a tumbling car. Hey, ho, hey, ho, are you most done? With eyes a Leo on me. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run.
Oh, we're outward bound to New York town.
Ho, ho, hey, ho, are you most done?
We'll dance them Bowery girls around. Oh,
clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Hey, ring a jig and a thumping car. Hey, ho, hey, ho, are you most done? With eyes a Leo on me. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run.
When we're stowing out right on the western pier.
Ho, hey, ho, are you most done?
And we'll head right back to some Liverpool beer.
Clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Hey, ring a jig and a thumping car. Ho, hey, ho, are you most done? With eyes a Leo on me. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run.
Oh, I thought I heard the old man say.
Ho, hey, ho, are you most done?
We'll leave that brig 3 points away.
Clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Hey, ring a jig and a thumping car. Hey, ho, are you most done? With eyes a Leo on me. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run.
And when we're back in Liverpool town.
Ho, hey, ho, are you most done?
I'll stand yours whiskey's all around.
Clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Hey, ring a jig and a thumping car. Hey, ho, are you most done? With eyes a Leo on me. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run. Clear away the track and let the bullshine run.
There you go.
Woo! Well done, Ruskin. Nice job. Well done, Rob. Thank you all. Thank you for the Portermen. Thank you for the Portermen. All right. You guys are great. That was terrific. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to ask Jon Campbell, who I know is here. And Jon Campbell, there he is. Jon Campbell came in second in the Portsmouth Songwriting Festival Songwriting Competition. Jon, before you perform, a few words about that competition. Normally, and this competition was founded by the great Gina Dunlap 4 years ago. I know she tried to convince folks for a while for the festival to have a songwriting competition, and it finally did. And Gina is here, so thank you so much, Gina, for getting that underway. Gina's waving at us now. And Gina, the original setup was you had to be in person, you had to perform it in front of everybody there, only 15 entries. Obviously, this year was very different. This year, we had a lot more wide range of what we were allowing because we realized that people couldn't be there. And of course, it got us folks who wouldn't normally be able to be at our festival. And we had 26 songs entered. And Gina and Mary Courier and I were the judges. And it was a tough one. We not only went through and scored them on our own, but then we had an exciting Zoom conference, the three of us, to narrow it down. And we came up with a first, second, third place and honorable mention. You've already heard, if you've been here since the beginning of our stream, the honorable mention song, Jane Fallon's Neptune's Daughter. And later on, you'll hear Paul Beck with his third place song, Broken Token. But our first place song was Gloucester Ladies by Stuart Markus, and our second place song was Garbage Barge by Jon Campbell, and boy, was it close. So we've invited both of them to perform today. As I said, we're a little ahead in our time schedule, which is actually good, but it means that Stuart's not here yet. That's all right. He will be eventually. Right now, we're going to listen to Jon Campbell, and then after that, Peter and Audi Souza, and we'll see where we are at that point with Stuart's here or not. But Jon Campbell, welcome to being Anchored Apart.
Thank you. Are you? I don't have much confidence in this. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Sounds fine. Nodding. All right. Nodding is good. All right. I'll just tear into it. I shipped on board the Break of Dawn in 1986, and it was either be a tugboat man or work at laying bricks. So I thought I'd skip the mortarboard and breathe some salt sea air. Spend a couple years afloat with Captain Duffy saved the air. You know, life on board the Break of Dawn, it didn't pack a lot of thrills. We'd put anything on the tow rope that would help to pay the bills. So we took that Mobro garbage barge. You know, it was just another job. A leaking, reeking albatross that we were hauling for the mob. Now we picked up that garbage barge up in Long Island Sound. And on the early morning tide, we were Carolina bound. Underneath the Verrazano and stormy New York skies. Just me and Duffy St. Pierre, 15,000 flies. Now when we got down past Hatteras, where we were supposed to go, you know, the port of Moorhead City, they emphatically said no. Hey, we got 3,000 tons of garbage. So where are we going, guys? Said Captain Duffy St. Pierre to the 30,000 flies. You know, it's next stop, Louisiana. We're gonna drop this reeking raft. Cause Mobile and Biloxi, they've already waved us past. You know, that barge was getting nastier as we got into the Gulf. And Captain Duffy St. Pierre, he started talking to himself. Well, they waved us off in New Orleans and all down the Texas coast. You know, that barge was getting pretty ripe as it began to roast. We gotta drop this damn thing off, says I with bloodshot eyes. The Captain Duffy St. Pierre, and now 500,000 flies. I knew this was going to happen. You know, they sent out 2 destroyers from sunny Mexico, and they escorted us with fighter jets. As southward we did go, you know, I felt just like some Flying Dutchman with some tropical disease. As the break of dawn in the Mobro barge sailed eastward off Belize. You know, we took some pride in the break of dawn, and we kept the ship boat. But that Mobro barge out on the rope, it made us super fun to float. So just ask the ancient mariner, who stoppeth 1 and 3, about Captain Duffy St. Pierre, 1,000,000 flies in me. Now Duffy's on the radio, and he's mostly screaming please. So we finally got permission to head back to the Keys. You know, I was tempted to swim to Cuba as we went steaming by. Me and Duffy St. Pierre, and now at least 2,000,000 flies. You know, 5 miles out from Key West, we got boarded by the feds. It's just ordinary garbage and not toxic waste, they said. So we go back up on the Gulf Stream, and New York regained the prize of me and Duffy St. Pierre, now at least 2,000,000 flies. Back in Brooklyn, we dropped the tow line. We've been 6,000 miles or more. And we've been almost 4 months out to sea when we got back to shore. And with a hand that threw the monkey's fist, I gladly waved goodbye to Captain Duffy St. Pierre and every single fly.
Thank you, Jon Campbell. I love the progression from 30 million flies to 50 million flies to 500,000 to 1,000,000 to more than 2,000,000 to every fly in the world. That's a great song.
Well,
thank you so much, Jon.
Fly.
Well, nature of rabbits too, but they wouldn't fit in a garbage barge. All right. Thank you, Jon Campbell. Thank you very much. If you mute yourself, we'll move ahead and we'll check on. I just heard from Stuart Markus. He's on his way home from a concert that Gathering Time just did, so he won't be there right away. But we have 2 of my favorite people in the world, Peter and Audi Souza. I'm wondering where the 3rd member of the trio is, but probably ignoring me as she often does. But Peter and Audi, how are you? You got to turn up your volume, I think. Oh, can you not hear us? You sound very quiet. Oh, darn it. We're quiet. Hold on, just a sec. Crank your volume.
How's that? That any better?
That's a little better, yeah. Got to get you a... Yeah, Chris Madden just said, Peter, quiet? That's a first.
Well, we could, hold on, we could put these in our mouths. Maybe we have to handhold them
There you go. There you go.
Is that better? Right here.
Yeah, now you look like lounge singers. That's awesome. So where is my flower named friend?
She's like 8 feet tall.
Come here.
Where's Zinnia? Oh my, wait a minute. Someone recently posted on Facebook a picture of you two singing with Zinnia in your arms, age a few months, right here at the radio station.
Oh, that was in Worcester, wasn't it?
That's right. So hi, Zinnia. Nice to see you. So Peter and Adia, what do you have for us, my friends?
Well, we're going to do a song that's well needed right now, Rain. The one Danny Schooner. Hey, rain, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. Got rain in me hair and rain in me face, old in the smell is a bloody wet place. Hey, hey, rain, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. Rain in me beer and rain in me grub, and they just fitted anchors to the Garadunga pub. Hey, rain, hey, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. Got a Johnson River crocodile living in me fridge. Got an old tree down on the Jubilee Bridge. Hey, rain, hey, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. Well, a bloke from out west nearly died of fright. The river rose 35 feet last night. Hey, rain, hey, rain, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. The clouds in the sky so black and big, an old flying fox in a Moreton Bay fig. Hey, rain, hey, rain, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. What's the worst wet season that we've ever had? I'd swim down to Tully, but it's just as bloody bad. Hey, rain, hey, rain, rain coming down on the cane, on the roofs of the town. Hey, rain, hey,
Nice sound effect. I love your harmonies. We had a little bit of sound trouble on part of it, but we're going to give you, no, we'll give you another a shot too later on, perhaps, as we're continuing here with our Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival presents Anchored Apart, community sing and concerts. I'm actually gonna, someone just made a little chat message here. Oh, lovely. Yes, Kate liked that. A+ instrumental edition at the end. That was absolutely right. Wonderfully done. We're waiting for Stuart Markus to get here. As I said, he was stuck in traffic, so I'm not going to jump on him right now. What I'm probably going to do is ask folks again to make more contributions. We've had 3 more contributions from Bradley, from Philip, and one that would like to remain anonymous. And we're now only $300 away from the artificial goal that I set in my capacity as treasurer of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. And once again, if you look in the chat on the Zoom, and I'm sure they'll add it yet again so it comes out in real time, and the chat on YouTube, you will see the link. It's a bit.ly link to make a contribution to support the festival, a bit.ly link, PMF Fest 2020, because this is 2020. And while we are not together in Portsmouth singing along, which I do wish we could be, we are anchored apart and sharing music with each other. And donations will, the note here is donations will go to both support next year's festival and remunerate today's featured performers. And I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I've got a, and I'm going to ask, as we're waiting for the next round, as we're still a little in a time set up here, I'm going to ask, and I'm taking them by surprise, but Elizabeth Block, can you do another song? If you're there. Yeah, she's smiling. I know I'm hoping that by the time you are done, Stuart will be here. We can get back on schedule because we are running early, and this is terrific because we're having so much fun and so much music. So Elizabeth, you want to, yeah, you've unmuted, and what do you have for us, my friend?
Yes, well, I'm not going to do this now, but maybe another time. There's a song called the SS Shield Hall, which my old friend Tam Kearney used to sing. It's about a barge that used to sail out into the Firth of Clyde with a load of human shit, and it would dump it, and people would go on tours on this ship. But I haven't got it right now. I'll give you another one from Canada. This is by my friend Howard Kaplan. Some of you may have heard it. It is his hovercraft shanty called From Dover to Calais. I thought I heard the captain cry, blow hard and hover, rev up the fans and let her fly, from Dover to Calais. I thought I heard the first mate quip, blow hard and hover, is this an airplane or a ship? From Dover to Calais. I thought I heard a Belgian say, blow hard and hover, your shopping bags are full today. From Dover to Calais. I thought I heard a Frenchman answer, blow hard and hover, n'est pas très cher dans Marks and Spencer, from Dover to Calais. I know these craft from stern to bow, blow hard and hover, it's 30 years I've sailed them now, from Dover to Calais. I thought I heard an old ghost wail, blow hard and hover, you'll go the way of steam and sail, from Dover to Calais. Where shall I go? What shall I do? Blow hard and hover, now that they've pushed the channel through, from Dover to Calais.
Great job, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. From Canada, Elizabeth Block.
Howard wrote it, but I don't care. He's not.
Oh, no. It's the folk process, Elizabeth. The folk
that's what I tell him.
that was absolutely wonderful. We're going to move ahead here. Actually, what I'm going to do now, the Portermen said they can do another one, so I'm going to ask the Portermen to do another one. And by then, Stuart should be home, and we're still way ahead of the game. I'm looking at my time schedule here, and this is supposed to be about 5:20, and it's only 5:04. So we're doing very, very well. Edith and Bennett, you'll be up next if Stuart isn't there in time, and we'll put him in before Paul as we're moving along. So thank you all. And the excitement's going on. Portermen and Ruskin. Ruskin and the Portermen. We've decided that's the new name of your band. It's Ruskin. It's Ruskin and the Portermen.
Ruskin and the Portermen. Only in Worcester.
And you guys go ahead.
Okay, guys.
Yeah. There it is. Well, thanks everybody for having us. And we're having definitely a good time out here doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Rusty. There may have been a few pints clocked in the last hour or so. This one is Rolling Down to Old Maui. We haven't actually rehearsed this in, I don't know, 6 months, so apologize for me cheating on the words. Anyway, here we go.
Here we go.
It's a damn tough life full of toil and strife we whaler men undergo. And we don't give a damn when the whaling's done how hard the winds do blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic ground with your good ship up and free. And we don't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale through the wind and ice and rain. Them native maids and tropical fronds we soon shall see again. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail through the northerly gale toward our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. Our stansail wounded carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale was after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Out off the breeze through the tropical trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades is awaiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see. Our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling home to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boy, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui.
Timmy!
Thank you. Thank you to the Portermen. And we're moving along here. Stuart Markus has arrived. Stuart had a concert earlier today with Gathering Time. Stuart Markus, his song won the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Songwriting Competition this year. His song, Gloucester Ladies. We'll hear it in a minute, but I would like to commend Stuart for making it this time. It was great. And I want to remind folks again that next year we'll be back to our, God willing, we'll be back to our usual requirements, which is no more than 15 entries. You must be there in person, and you need to share your song with us, perform it live in front of us, which is why you heard Jane earlier say that she couldn't do it 2 years ago because she hadn't memorized the song yet, but she sang it and got honorable mention this year. So we're going to have Stuart. Stuart, where are you? I just saw you. You vanished. Stuart Markus, you were here. Don't do that to me. Oh,
So I
There
had to
you are.
unmute myself.
Oh, there you oh, and the perfect shirt for this, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stuart Markus, and the winner of this year's PMFF Songwriting Competition with the Gloucester Ladies. And I'll let you take it away, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much. This is a song I wrote after reading The Perfect Storm and exploring a little bit around Gloucester, Massachusetts once. When the seas are calm and the sky is fair and the winds are light and warm, it's hard to picture in your mind what it's like at the height of a storm. But seas can change and winds grow foul and hurl a ship a lee. And the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. For 100 years the men set out the Grand Banks for to ply, with one eye on the fishing rig, the other toward the sky. For the sudden storm is such the norm, with great ferocity, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. A pitchpole wave strikes from ahead, approaching sea from the side. Her bow gets buried in the trough, and the crew end up in the tide. So many men not seen again, God bless their family. And the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. In the old church hall there stands a wall, 10,000 names upon, for every man who worked the sea and disappeared thereon, and every one a mother's son, a sweetheart or a friend. But a watery grave is all they have, no resting place to tend. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for the men to return from the sea. Thank you very
Stuart
much.
Stuart Markus with Gloucester Ladies, the winning song. And Stuart, not only did you perform it here, but if you're able, you are also invited to perform it at the concert next year at the festival, the Saturday evening concert next year at the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, along with the winner of next year's competition, whoever that talented artist might be. Thank you, Stuart Markus, for Gloucester Ladies.
Thanks, Nick, and all the judges. Thanks for having me.
Well, Gina and Mary and I enjoyed listening to that music. All right, we have a change here. Folks, mute yourselves, please, the moment. Little schedule change. Eleanor and Sam Simmons were on for a little bit later, but they're across the pond, and it's getting late, and they thought they'd like to go now, and I didn't see why not, since we're still about 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So we're going to have Eleanor and Sam go now, and after Eleanor and Sam, I'm going to ask my friends Bob and Gene Zentz to do a song, and then after that, Edith and Bennett should be ready to go. So Eleanor and Sam Simmons, welcome to our event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pnawn a Porth. Good afternoon, Portsmouth. Shanty Cymraeg, a Welsh shanty. Well, there's a bit you can repeat if you like. There's round the horn, and then it's said again, and you send the second time, you say it with emphasis. So we'll start with the chorus. We're singing the song in English apart from the chorus in Welsh, which we'll do after the chorus in English. Starting with the chorus. It's only two verses, so very short.
So you can learn the chorus, and yeah, it's very short.
Come, Welshmen all, and listen to my song, how we sailed our packet round the horn, round the horn. 'Twas the third day of the week, boys, when dawn was just a-breaking. We passed the rocky shores of Anglesey. Down Cymru Glan, round yr Afan Han, fel bu a fod ei ffrounder hon, round the horn, sef y trafydd difo'r wythnos, a chydig cyn y cyfnos, gan basio geglan greigiau glanau mon. It was the day of sailing, we were bound to leave our homeland, we were sailing out towards Green Island shore. The wind was blowing big guns, the sea was running high, boys, a-tumbling o'er the rail with thundering roar. Come, Welshmen all, and listen to my song, how we sailed our packet round the horn, round the horn. 'Twas the third day of the week, boys, when dawn was just a-breaking. We passed the rocky shores of Anglesey. Down Cymru Glan, round yr Afan Han, fel bu a fod ei ffrounder hon, round the horn, sef y trafydd difo'r wythnos, a chydig cyn y cyfnos, gan basio gegran greigiau glanau mon. We sailed the high seas over in many a good tall packet, but this was the toughest rounding of the horn. She was a hungry blighter, a proper sailor's workhouse, enough to make you wish you'd not been born. Come, Welshmen all, and listen to my song, how we sailed our packet round the horn, round the horn. 'Twas the third day of the week, boys, when dawn was just a-breaking. We passed the rocky shores of Anglesey. Down Cymru Glan, round yr Afan Han, fel bu a fod ei ffrounder hon, round the horn, sef y trafydd difo'r wythnos, a chydig cyn y cyfnos, gan basio geglan greigiau glanau mon. Come, Welshmen all, and listen to my song, How we sailed our packet round the Horn, round the Horn. 'Twas the third day of the week, boys, when dawn was just a breaking. We passed the rocky shores of Anglesey. Round the Horn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that was terrific. Thank you. Thank you again. Coming up next, Bob and Jean Zentz. I've asked them to perform. And after that, I'm hoping Edith is all set to go with Edith and Bennett. And that was lovely, Sam and Eleanor, by the way. Edith and Bennett, then Paul Beck, Deb Martin, Edith and Bennett again. And at that point, we're going to start running a lot of community singers. Arthur and Ian and Quentin and Tom and Peter and Artie again. And, Cliff. I don't know. We're moving along. But those are all folks coming up later. Right now, Bob and Jean Zentz. Bob, welcome back.
It's good to be back. Do
an auto harp. An auto harp.
It's true. An instrument seldom seen at sea.
And I should give a shout out to Nick Apollonio, one of our favorite sailors in Rockport, Maine. This is a smaller version of the one I played before, these bell citterns. He's a wonderful guy, and maybe he's watching tonight.
And this song is a great answering back song that, according to Gordon Bach, it does have a nautical flavor to it.
There is a ship in the second verse.
That's true. Actually, two ships.
Two ships passing.
So all you have to do is just answer back the same line, except when we get to the part that says, "Let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me." And this is a good song to heal all the ills that MSNBC puts forth on a daily basis. And
that 2020 has given us.
That's
Let's
right.
just say.
Hold back the days.
Hold back the days.
In which I'm living.
In which I'm living.
So far from home.
So far from home.
So far from free.
So far from free.
Hold back the ways.
Hold back the ways.
We've all been given.
We've all been given.
Let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. If we should meet, like ships a passing, some stormy night, upon the blue, we may not speak, but for the asking, I'd let a sweet song from yesterday wash over you. Hold back the days in which I'm living, so far from home, so far from free. Hold back the way we've all been given. Let a sweet song yesterday wash over me. When it seems your dreams aren't worth the dreaming, and when you can't find your way through, when all your schemes aren't worth the scheming, let a sweet song from yesterday wash over you. Hold back the days. which I'm living, so far from home, so far from free. Roll back the ways we've all been given. Let a sweet song from yesterday wash over, and let a sweet song from yesterday wash over.
Sweet songs from yesterday. Hold back the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Our pleasure.
My friends Gene and Bob Zentz. Now, Edith and Bennett should be ready. A slight schedule change. My friend Ian Tupling is in the UK and has also got time constraints. So if Edith and Bennett are ready, yes,
Hey,
you are.
yeah, we're getting ready. We're here. We're
Can
here.
can we slide one song in ahead of you while you're setting up?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
All right, Ian Tupling. I'm sorry that it's short notice, but I saw you had your UK notice there. So are you there, Ian? And are you ready to sing something? He might be. I thought I saw him seconds ago.
Yeah, I'm here. I was muted still.
Oh, okay. Well, Ian, we're going to slip you in because you too are across the pond. The hours are running on you.
I was hoping it would be my mate Chris Locke who'd put her name down with me, but I'll, yeah, here's a song for you. We're from Locked Up Together, a group from Liverpool area of UK. After his beauties beneath the kauri trees, I've travelled along with a drink and a song in a land where they call you mate. Around the hole, that's the sailor's fate. Across the line, the Gulf Stream, I've been in Table Bay. Around the Horn, that's the sailor's way. I've run aground on many a sound without a pilot on board. Longboats lowered by lantern light, pushed off and gently rolled. And each frolics they creak with a roll and a swell in a land with the make hail. Oh, who would sail the seas? That's the sailor's way. Across the line, the Gulf Stream, I've been in Table Bay. Around the Horn and back, that's the sailor's way. In calm, a storm, a rain, a shine, the shoreback does not mind. On the ocean swell, he'll work like hell for the girl he left behind. He beats it not and he runs for south. He doesn't get much pay. He's always on the losing game. That's the sailor's way. Across the line, the Gulf Stream, I've been in Table Bay. Around the Horn and back again. That's the sailor's way. Oh, shining is the North Star as it hangs on the starboard bow. We're homeward bound for Liverpool town and our hearts are in it now. We've crossed the line in the Gulf Stream. We've been round Table Bay. Around the Horn and back again. That's the sailor's way. Across the line, the Gulf Stream. I've been in Table Bay. Around the Horn and back again. That's the sailor's way. Across the line, the Gulf Stream. I've been in Table Bay. Around the Horn and back again. That's the sailor's way.
Ian Tupling from the UK. Thank you, Ian, very much for sharing that song with us.
That's all right.
All right. There's someone else who wants to sing who doesn't appear.
You're muted, Nick.
Oh, sorry about that. I must have hit the wrong button once again. Thank you again, Ian, for that. Edith and Bennett are coming up in a minute. After Edith and Bennett's first song, we'll have Paul Beck with the third place song from the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Songwriting Competition this year. Then Deb Martin as a community singer. Then Edith and Beck again. And then we have a lineup of community singers. It'll take us till probably close to 6 o'clock. We'll have an official closing song, and then the community singer lineup will continue as we have an open sing as it ends. And my God, there's choreography behind you, Bennett. It's your turn now.
Oh yeah. Well, welcome to Mid-Coast Maine up here where things are, I want to make sure I'm not cutting out here. We got a high-tech situation going on where I'm checking the levels as we go. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Bennett Konesni, and my musical partner Edith is right there. And we're here with a bunch of our buddies. We have a community chorus here in Maine called the Mighty Work Song Community Chorus that I run, and these guys are all in it. And we sing while we're farming, while we're jogging, but also while we're rowing old Bantry Bay gigs. We've got a 40-foot or 38-foot 6-inch rowboat with 10 oars, and we fill the boat with singers, and we're bringing back a lot of the old shanties, especially those from the Colcord collection, because Joanna Colcord lived in the next town over, and her book, Songs of the American Sailorman, is sort of our Bible. We're trying to bring those songs back into the vernacular here in Mid-Coast Maine. So these guys are getting excited. One of the things we do, just as a way to practice the shanties at any time, is we stack wood and sing. We're stacking wood and singing, and that's what's happening this time of year, especially because we can't row and sing because of insurance with the COVID situation. So we can stack wood and sing. Nobody's going to stop us, and things are pretty good here in Waldo County for us. So we're going to be stacking the wood of Ben Foss, who just bought this old house, and he's turning 21 here in a couple days. So this is his 21st birthday present. We're going to help him stack some wood and be a part of this festival. So without further ado, a little bit of Huckleberry Huntin' from the Colcord collection. And as we stack some wood. Well, the boys and the girls went a huckleberry hunting. Well, the boys and the girls went a huckleberry hunting and sing Hallo Marenzo Ray. Well, the little girl ran off and the boy ran after. Well, the little girl ran off and the boy ran after and sang Hallo Marenzo Ray. He said, what would you give for a fine leg of mutton? What would you give for a fine leg of mutton and sing Hallo Marenzo Ray? I would give you gold and I would give you these. I would give you gold and I would give you these and sing Hallo Marenzo Ray. Well, I'll be your beau if you'll have me for a feller. I'll be your beau if you have me for a feller and sing Hallo Marenzo Ray. How many girls can you fit in the lifeboat? How many girls can you fit in the lifeboat and sing Hallo Marenzo Ray? And sing a the girls went huckleberry hunting. Well, the boys and the girls went huckleberry hunting. And hallo, Marins, hooray! And sing a hallo, Marins, hooray! And sing a hallo, Marins, hooray! That's it! Woo! All right.
Wow.
There you go.
Excellent. Bennett, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
A little bit of our wildness from up here in Waldo County.
Well, you'll be back in a couple of songs, and we'll
yeah, we're just gonna shift. We're gonna shift the whole operation over to another area, and looking forward to hearing some more stuff. And we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Bennett. Thank you, Edith and Bennett and the gang.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, Paul Beck. There's Paul. Paul, who's part of the great folk duo Ergo Canto, and Paul entered in our songwriting competition this year. His song came in third, Broken Token, a take on an old theme, beautifully done, and was our third place finisher. And here is Paul Beck. Paul, how are you, my friend?
I'm okay. You can hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you okay. Paul Beck, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, tell us about the song and sing it, please.
Well, this is one group I probably don't have to explain Broken Token songs to, but I usually do. So the traditional ballad about Broken Tokens involves this sailor coming back in disguise to try to fool his true love into, pretending he was dead so he could see if she's faithful or not. And I kind of took that and ran with it. The first summer breezes were blowing, the last showers of spring from the lane. When Willie came back from the ocean and Mary walked home in the rain, she stopped 'neath the arms of a maple. He walked up and said, "Pardon me. If your name be Mary, I bring you sad tidings from over the sea. I bring you a ring which was broken, one half it was given to thee, to keep you reminded of Willie, who now lies asleep in the sea. So sing me a song of the ocean, tell me a tale of the sea. I leave you a token between us, it's broken to keep you reminded of me." She said, "Willie, please don't deceive me or pretend that you died in the war. 5 years ago we were lovers, you look much the same as before. 5 years ago we were lovers, and when you returned we would wed. And the long night before we were parted, I spent in me own Willie's bed. So sing me a song of the ocean, tell me a tale of the sea. I leave you a token between us, it's broken to keep you reminded of me." He said, "My own Mary O'Donnell, don't you grieve when you hear what I tell. I've married a fine Spanish lady, we have 3 fine babies as well. And I only came back for to tell you, to you vow you no longer are bound. So give back the ring which was broken. Another true love I have found. Sing me a song of the ocean. Tell me a tale of the sea. I leave you a token between us. It's broken to keep you reminded of me. She drew out her hand from her pocket. A ring from her finger did shine. Said, I hope you are happy with your love, as happy as I am with mine. The flowers all bloom round our cottage. A fire will keep out the cold. You gave me a ring which was broken. He gives me a love which is whole. So sing me a song of the ocean. Tell me a tale of the sea. I leave you a token between us. It's broken to keep you reminded of me. The first summer breezes were blowing. The last showers of spring from the lane. When Willie went back to the ocean and Mary walked home in the rain.
Paul Beck, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Beck with Broken Token, third place in this year's Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Songwriting Competition. Paul, great to see you again. Great to hear you again. And thank you. Now, just to let folks know what's happening, we have Devin Martin and then Edith and Bennett with their second adventure. And after that, theoretically, that is the official end of the concert portion. So we will have our wonderful president, Chris Madden, do a closing song and do some closing announcements, but we're not really closing. We're not really closing. I have a list of folks lined up to sing after that. So in 2 songs from now, we'll hear from Chris Locke, Arthur Kitchen, Ian Davies, Quentin Center, Tom Meldrum, Peter Naughty Souza, Cliff Abrams, in that order. And if there are other people, they'll let you know how to do it. That's the job of our wonderful tech folks. And I want to really say thank you to folks, to Persis and to Jamie and to Kate, who are making my life easier by sending me names and telling me what I'm doing wrong and telling me what I'm doing right and making everything work. Chat Singer, if you want to sing, says Jamie. And thanks to Jeff and Rob, and thanks to the great Chris Madden and to Gail and all the folks on the board and associating with the board to make this work. I want to also thank, we have more donations from Barbara and Hannah. Thank you very much. The link is out there to donate. It's a bit.ly link, basically bit.ly PMF Fest 2020. And we are, I will tell you, $205 exactly away from the goal that I set secretly as treasurer of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. Now I'm going to shut up and welcome Devin Martin.
Hi there. We're a transatlantic couple, but this song is from Ireland.
Well, that could still be transatlantic.
Well,
UK.
We're not from Ireland.
US. We all got drunk in Dublin City, fall down me Billy. We all got drunk, sure more's the pity, fall down Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down me Billy. We're bound away for America, fall down Billy O'Shea. We lay down drunk on Sir Rogerson's quay, fall down me Billy. And when we woke we were out to sea, fall down Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down me Billy. we're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Oh, we are no sailors, Captain dear. Fall down, me Billy, and the least inclined for to reef and steer. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down, me Billy. We're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Well, the captain says I've a cure for that. Fall down, me Billy, and here for a start's a dose of the cat. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down, me Billy. We're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. So we sent him up to the topmast yard. Fall down, me Billy. And when he hit the deck, oh, he took it hard. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down, me Billy. We're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. So we wrapped him in a canvas sail. Fall down, me Billy, and gently lowered him o'er the rail. Fall down, Billy O'Shea, and over the side and down he goes. Fall down, me Billy, to Davy Jones with a stitch through his nose. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down, me Billy. We're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Oh, and as he went I heard him say, fall down, me Billy. I thought we were bound for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea. Fall down, fall down, fall down, me Billy. We're bound away for America. Fall down, Billy O'Shea.
Deb and Martin, that was terrific. Thank you so much. I was singing along. It's kind of echoey in here because I'm all by myself, but I was, and I saw other folks singing along as well. Thank you very much.
And thank you for being so animated for us to watch you.
Oh, dear Lord. Animated, that's right. Bennett, Edith and Bennett, you are back in action again, and you've changed your viewpoint.
Yes, we are now in front of a different pile of wood. And just to clarify, we saw some questions in the chat. We were just moving. Indeed, Ben is so far ahead of the game that he gets to stack his wood outside to dry and then move it inside because he's got this big old ship of a house. It's like the Victory Chimes, our biggest schooner here up in Maine. It's just an enormous thing. And in order to get the boiler room running, we gotta stack the wood inside. So, you know, wood is the fuel that heats you thrice or 4 times or 5 times. So
Edith and Bennett, and lots of instruments this time.
Yeah, we've got a little medley for you. We're going to sing "We Dark Engine Room," the classic, which we love. We sing it so much here up in Maine, and then we're going to play a couple real traditional Maine tunes coming out of that song, including one that Elsie wrote called the J&E Riggin', which last couple of years we've been the special guests on the schooner J&E Riggin', which is a great local schooner, and the schooner that when I was a teenager I was a deckhand on board. I got the t-shirt going right here, and that's actually what got me into shanties, was working on the schooners in Penobscot Bay. So we're going to give you some classics from that world and invite you guys up here once this pandemic's all passed to come on up and sing and sail with us. All right? Okay. So, how the wintry blizzards blow, and the whaling ships at rest, tucked in lee harbor's sheltered bay, safely anchored 10 abreast, the whalers at their stations, and from shed to shed they go, carrying little bags of coal with them, and a little iron stove. In that wee dark engine room, where the chill seeps through your soul, how we huddled round that wee pot stove that burns oily rags and coal. Now Fireman Paddy worked with me on the engine stiff and cold. A stranger to the truth was he, There's not a lie he hasn't told. He boasted of his gold mines and of all the hearts he's won, and his bonny sense of humor shone just like a ray of sun in that wee dark engine room where the chill seeps through your soul. How we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. We labored 7 days a week with cold hands and frozen feet. Bitter days and lonely nights, drinking grog and having fights. Fresh fish and whale meat sausage, hot penguin eggs a treat. And we'd shuffle off to work each day with icy hands and feet in that wee dark engine room where the chill seeps through your soul. How we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. Well, then one day we saw the sun and the factory ships returned. Meet an old friend, sing a song. Hope the season won't be long, for it's homeward bound when it's over. We'll leave this icy hole, but I always will remember that little iron stove in that wee dark engine room where the chill seeps through your soul. How we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal.
Edith and Bennett. Edith and Bennett. That was terrific. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
I was looking across the list of the pictures here, and every other person was bopping or clapping or having a great time.
That's the way to take it in.
Bop and clap.
Bopping and clapping. That's the only way.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. That was terrific.
I was just going to say the names of the tunes. Oh, it was The Dark Engine Room, followed by the J&E Riggin, written by Elsie Gawler, followed by Macklemoyle's Reel, followed by The Bay of Fundy.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Edith and Bennett. That was wonderful. Okay, we're going to close out the official portion of this show. I'm going to invite back on our beloved Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival Board President, Chris Madden. I also want to say that folks can still give and donate to make this work. But boy, this has been so much fun. And I have a long list of people signed up to sing after we do our closing. And I'll let people know what it is now. After Chris says goodbye and thank you and sings a song, we have Chris Locke from the UK, Quentin Center, if he's able to stick around, Arthur Kitchen, Ian Davies, Tom Meldrum, Peter Naughty Souza, Cliff Abrams, Stuart Markus. If some new folks come in, great. If not, it'll be Elizabeth Block. That stuff's all coming up. And if I have to run away, Chris knows that he's going to have to be the MC for a little bit. But I will be back because you can't get rid of me that easily. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome my brother, my friend, and our esteemed president, Chris Madden.
Thank you, Nick. And thank you so much to everyone. I am just so pleased. We had some technical difficulties at the start, but there's been so much good music over the last 4 hours. I do wish we could have all been together in person. This is a beautiful day, and Portsmouth is a lovely city, but I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Great to see so many familiar faces and to see so many new ones as well. This has just been fantastic. For those of you watching us on YouTube, we are going to stop the stream at the end of this event, but please join us on Zoom if you want to continue the fun with an open sing. The link is in the chat, the Zoom credentials, so please drop in and join us if you like. Thank you all so much. I like to close Shanty Sings with Leave Her Johnny, but the inimitable twins of Bounding Maine already sang that. So the other song that we often use in Portsmouth to close the Shanty Sing is by Bert Lloyd and Ewan McCall. Doesn't have a chorus as such, but lots of people know it. And it's not like I can hear you singing harmony with me anyway. So come all ye bold seamen, wherever you're bound, and always let Nelson's proud memory go round, and pray that the wars and the tumult may cease. For the greatest of gifts is a sweet lasting peace. May the Lord put an end to these cruel old wars and bring peace and contentment to all our brave tars. Thank you all very much. I hope to see you next year in person in Portsmouth. Thank you. Be well and join our community sing on Zoom if you would like to. Thank you.